You were looking live at Giacosa Stadium, playing host tonight, Father Ryan High School and Ravenwood for the first time ever in football, meeting on the gridiron. It's taking place right here on the campus of Father Ryan High School. Hey everybody, Lou Pickney and Austin Wright with you on this call. And for Father Ryan, coming off back-to-back heartbreaking losses against rivalry game opponents, with JP2 scoring with 4 seconds to go 2 weeks ago, and then NBA in a tie game getting the go-ahead score with less than 2 minutes to go last week. The Father Ryan team definitely in need of a win, facing a Ravenwood squad coming off 4 consecutive victories.
Absolutely, some big game wins there for Ravenwood. It had a big game last week against Brentwood High School. Definitely a big, astonishing win, really, upsetting them then with a great game that they had. And Father Ryan definitely with some heartbreaking losses, but hopefully trying to turn it around here in a big, exciting homecoming game here on the campus of Father Ryan. So hopefully they can turn it around here tonight.
For Father Ryan, it's worth noting right out of the gate, their kicker, Zach Wesnowski, our normal kickoff specialist, place kicker, has hamstring groin injury. So instead, it's going to be Sam Mercado handling kickoffs. And we are underway as a pooch kick toward the near side, bounces at the 32, fielded the 30. Be a spin down for a tackle around the 31-yard line. Ravenwood won the opening toss. Normally Father Ryan, if they win the toss, they defer. Ravenwood decided they want to get the ball to start the game, and they'll begin at their own 31-yard line.
No doubt, and that definitely plays in the Coach Rector style of wanting to get the ball in the second half and definitely giving them an advantage after going into the locker room after halftime. So that's definitely a good point here for Father Ryan, hopefully to build off that and hopefully set the tone here with the defense on the field against a tough Ravenwood squad.
Ravenwood 1 week ago at Brentwood, as you mentioned, that rivalry game. That Ravenwood, the Raptors, that they won 31-23. You'll notice for Ravenwood, presuming they go with the standard that they have the last few weeks, they'll have a pair of quarterbacks taking turns. It's going to be the sophomore starting out, number 4, Brian Garcia. The 3-receiver look on 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, has plenty of time now, being chased toward the near side, to be sacked. A nice combo effort there for Father Ryan. Austin Crow getting in there, along with Ben Smith, the linebacker. And it's a good start for this Father Ryan defense.
Absolutely. That's a great start there for the Irish, and the D-line getting some good penetration there on Ravenwood and able to push them back far into their own territory.
Much like Father Ryan, when they're on offense, Ravenwood's quick to the ball. This shotgun look, they almost exclusively use Garcia throwing deep on first down, man-for-man coverage, and it'll bounce incomplete out of bounds. Hopkins on the coverage there for Father Ryan.
Hunter Hopkins having a great year. He's been able to block major passes in big games as well. He's been having a great season for the Irish. Absolutely big play there for him.
That sets up 3rd and 25 now for Ravenwood. Just underway here at Father Ryan High School's campus, Giacosa Stadium. Irish taking on Ravenwood. Less than a minute into this one on 3rd and 25. More pressure. Garcia rolls to his right, throws complete to the 30. Be tackled around the 33-yard line. Marcel Fogg on the stop on the reception. Parker Nash, the 6'3 senior, pulled it in, but not nearly enough yardage-wise, and it's a likely punting scenario here for Ravenwood early in this one.
Absolutely. Irish defense coming up big there against the tough Ravenwood squad. That's a very good sign for them as they start out the game, and hopefully they can continue that.
Punt is away. Wobbler be fielded cleanly at the 32-yard line. A fair catch made by Father Ryan. Quinn Warren, short-handed, bringing that one in. That's going to set up Father Ryan to start things out on his first offensive drive at his own 34-yard line. For those of you just joining us, Ravenwood won the coin toss, opted to receive the opening kickoff. But after a sack on first down and a pair of incompletions, Father Ryan with the early momentum, and now its first offensive look of this game against the Raptors of Ravenwood.
You know, as the Irish set up here for offense, hopefully one of their big things that they'll be going for this game is hopefully attacking that tough secondary for Ravenwood and hopefully exploiting it. But more than that, it's just hopefully the run game as well, because Ravenwood has an interesting D-line situation.
4 receivers on first down. It's going to be a handoff. Jackson Bird, and he'll get maybe 1 or 2 yards on that one. This is a Ravenwood team that gave up in excess of 400 yards on the ground against Siegel. They won the game, so credit to Ravenwood for that. Their front 7, from what I've seen in limited video online available, but in seeing them online, that's where Father Ryan's going to get them It looks like it'd be a strong use of the ground game. So on 2nd and 7, it's a completion to the far side. Wyatt Rector, he'll have a first down for Father Ryan near the Irish 48-yard line. So the Irish getting its first down of this game.
Great way to start the game there for the Irish. Seamus passing it to Wyatt Rector there for a great completion to move the ball. And they get past the 50. That'll be a great way to start off the game.
Approaching the 10-minute mark of the first quarter. No score, Father Ryan and Ravenwood. It's 4 receivers, 3 to the near side for the Irish. It'll be a handoff. Jackson Bird plowing up the middle. Gets that head of steam going. By the time they bring him down, he'll be near the 45-yard line of the Raptors. That's going to set up a 2nd and 3 for the Irish.
Great play by the Irish. And like you said earlier, hopefully the Irish can also get some good penetration there on the Ravenwood D-line and hopefully move the ball up on the ground game. And hopefully Jackson Bird and possibly Antonio Wright can have some good games.
So 2nd and 3 for the Irish. It's 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the far. Out of the shotgun, Seamus O'Connell. They go with a hard count. They don't jump. O'Connell's going to keep it himself going up the middle. And he'll run into a tackler that will stymie him for just about no loss right there. Brandon Huff, middle linebacker. He's a good tackler. I noticed that watching him on video and what I was able to crib from the various sources that I have. So they're going to say 3rd and a long 1 for the Irish. 9 minutes to go, first quarter, no score. Father Ryan and Ravenwood. It really is, it's 3rd and 2 to take a look at it. Father Ryan has the ball at the Ravenwood 44-yard line. They need to get it all the way to the 42. 4 receivers, 3 to the near side on this 3rd down for the Irish handoff. No, it's going to be a keeper. Seamus O'Connell, the quarterback, and he will have the first down for Father Ryan. So Seamus with the nose to find the opening there as they fake the handoff. Houston Crouch, and they move the chains once again.
That's right. Seamus O'Connell getting a great run inside there, picking up a good first down for the Irish and moving the ball forward.
So officially the ball spotted at the 39-yard line of Ravenwood. 1st and 10 Irish, 8:21 and counting, first quarter, no score here in South Nashville. Out of the shotgun, this time it will be a handoff. Houston Crouch found a seam for a moment. 2 or 3 Ravenwood defenders finally able to bring him down, but not after a 5 or 6 yard gain.
And that's right. Houston Crouch, even though he's got a short and stocky ability, he sure can run the ball and move that against any defense that he's faced this year, as many of the Irish nation have known, and that was a good play by him right there.
Father Ryan switching in. Bird and Crouch, both that inside linebacker and running back. Coach Rector this week quoted saying, "We're thin and need a win in the worst way." Good way to start that out would be to get into the end zone, of course, but on this 2nd and 7, they are 32 yards away. It'd be a handoff. Jackson Bird up the middle, twisting and finding his way to an Irish first down. So not surprisingly, this is how I expected Father Ryan should start things off, and they have a heavy dose of the run, a little bit of the passing, just enough to keep them honest, and the Irish right back to the line quickly. It's a 4-receiver look, 2 to either side on this 1st and 10 from the Ravenwood 24-yard line.
Absolutely. Definitely keeping Ravenwood on their toes and definitely giving them a dose of both sides of the ball here for passing and running.
11 seconds on the play clock. It's going to be a handoff. Jackson Bird to the near side. Stays on his feet to the 10. Can they tackle him to the 5 towards that corner? He'll be out of bounds just shy of the goal line, but it's 1st and goal. Father Ryan from deep in Ravenwood territory.
Jackson Bird right there with a great way to find the hole and get it down and go inside for the Irish, and what a great play by him.
So approaching the 7-minute mark of the first quarter. No score, Father Ryan and Ravenwood. Be that big formation for Father Ryan. Of course, still out of the shotgun, even on this 1st and goal from the 2. Be a handoff. Jackson Bird pushing up the middle, and I don't think he got there. Very close. Jackson Bird in the area of the middle. Short gain will bring up 2nd and goal. So it'll be 2nd and goal from either the 1 or inside the 1, depending on where they finally spot the ball. We'll spot it between the 1 and the 2. So not much there. A good job by Ravenwood to keep Father Ryan out on that carry.
And like you said earlier, this is definitely the start that the Irish needed right here, getting the ground game and the pass game going right here, and hopefully setting up right here for the score.
Seemed like somebody might have moved into the neutral zone, but no flag. Jackson Bird on the handoff. He won't get there. Tried to spin around on his patented moves, but too much bulk in there for the Raptors. And this sets up 3rd and goal now for Father Ryan at the 1-yard line.
It seems as though the officials have thrown a flag.
There's a flag. Again, it looked like Ravenwood had encroachment, and indeed it was. It was a free play for Father Ryan. I thought I saw that right, but you never know for sure. Up here on the booth, easy for me to say what I think I see versus what the officials, the ones who actually have the ability to throw a flag, what they see. But
that's right.
So what works to Father Ryan's advantage. 2nd and goal now from inside the 1-yard line. It's going to be a handoff. Jackson Bird plowing into the end zone, or he's close at least. Did he get in?
Seems as though the officials are denying it.
They're going to say just short. So Ravenwood holding tough. Now remember, that was, of course, because of the half the distance to the goal line penalty. Father Ryan was able to replay 2nd down, but even on that, they weren't able to punch it in. 3rd and goal for the Irish. The ball is about as close as you can get to the goal line without it being a touchdown. O'Connell's going to go under center. He rarely does. He's going to push forward. Tries a QB sneak. Waiting for a signal. Nothing yet.
Seems as though the trickery by the Irish didn't work there.
He didn't make it. Seamus O'Connell almost never goes under center. The Father Ryan Irish almost always utilize the shotgun, but on that one he ran up underneath the center, tried to sneak it in. Father Ryan, as we approach the 5-minute mark of this first quarter, no score, 4th and goal. Offense is still in the game. 13 seconds on the play clock. They're going to need to pick up the pace a little bit here. 10 seconds with their normal kicker, Wesnowski, hurt. Almost a no-brainer here to go for it. 4th and goal from the 1. It's a handoff. Jackson Bird into the end zone. Touchdown, Irish.
Great play there by the Irish, getting the first score of the game. What a great way to set the tone here and get up on Ravenwood in a great homecoming game. Ravenwood had great goal line stands there, but Father Ryan was able to push it in with a great run there by Jackson Bird.
Father Ryan setting up where it could go for a 2-point conversion, where it's so inclined. They did so, at least attempted it against Brentwood Academy, as you may recall. They're looking like they're going to do it. And it'll be a snap to O'Connell's going to throw toward the far corner, and it's caught for the 2-point conversion. So a nice job there for Father Ryan. William Riley pulls in the 2-point conversion. And that at the 4:41 mark of the first quarter, your score, Father Ryan 8, well, Ravenwood 0. We'll keep it here as there is some sort of a discussion.
It was definitely a good play there by the Irish with the unorthodox setup, but it worked well and got 2 points and didn't have to rely on their kicker, and so it worked out well for them.
Now I see a flag right at the goal line, the center of the field.
There's a penalty marker down.
It appears they called illegal touching on the play.
Oh, it was illegal substitution.
Or illegal substitution.
The 2-point conversion is no good.
So they're going to take the 2 points off the board. Now, in this situation, if there's a penalty, you should be able to replay it, I would think.
Exactly. That's what I would have expected, but maybe it's different.
To be fair, I don't have the TSSAA rule book in front of me. Mm-hmm. But if you get in there, if you score on a 2-point conversion and there's a penalty against you, typically you lose the 5 yards and then you either kick it, as you might normally, or not. But apparently in this case, and Coach Rector down there getting up to speed on what the call was by the referee. Normally, I like to think I'm a know-it-all when it comes to this sort of thing. But on this one, I'm at a loss, Austin. So
I'm right there with you. It's a tough call there. I would have thought they would have replayed it as well.
I just don't
Definitely
understand unless it's considered loss of down. That's the only thing that makes sense because they got in.
Exactly.
So Father Ryan, after what looked like a conversion on a 2-point play, instead ends up with only 6 points. So 6-0 Irish, 4:41 to go here in the first quarter, and again with Zach Wesnowski, the normal kicker, the freshman, injured.
And either way, from that missed 2-point or from that penalty on the 2-point conversion, definitely some positives to take away from that touchdown score.
Sam Mercado with the kickoff. It's a short intermediate kick toward the far side, fielded around the 33, finally brought down. They're going to say he got all the way to the Raptors' 45-yard line. So that is where Ravenwood will start this second offensive possession of this game. Father Ryan leading 6-0, 4:36 to go first quarter.
And with Zach Wesnowski being out, definitely the Irish defense are going to step up a little bit more because they're going to have a shorter ground to cover and keep up because they'll be short with our new kicker, Sam Mercado, it'll be a little bit more different style, and hopefully they'll be able to match up well for it once they have the ball further up the field instead of farther.
6 seconds on the play clock. They get the snap. It's a handoff up the middle. Spin move. Finally a tackle made by Anthony Wright for the Irish. Anthony Holmes on the carry. The scat back. He's a dangerous player when he gets in the open field. Against Page, he had a touchdown on an outlet pass. On that one, he picked up 3 yards on the carry. And again, it's quick to the line. I anticipate we'll see a lot of that from both of these teams tonight. 4 receivers to the near side and 1 to the far. Garcia, quarterback's going to throw deep. He's got an arm. Step for step, Hopkins is there, and it falls incomplete. Looked like it could have been potentially brought in. Throw, and I'll say this for Garcia. I mean, when you see a kid that's a sophomore in there, they listed 5'10", 150, and that's a shoot. He really is that, that small. You don't think he would have that kind of arm strength and accuracy, but there's a reason he's in there playing for him. On that one, though, Hopkins, good positioning, and the ball ultimately falls incomplete. So 3rd and 7 now, 4:03 to go here in this first quarter. Irish leading 6-0.
Absolutely, definitely a good play there by Hunter Hopkins to stay with him step for step as much as he could, but it did end up falling through his hands.
Irish secondary will be challenged in this game. It's trips receivers to the near side. They maybe set up a screen. Garcia will throw, and it's going to go incomplete.
Great coverage there by Father Ryan.
I was going to say the Irish right there seem to sniff that one out, but there is a flag down, so we'll see what the call is. Now this is interesting. They say false start against Ravenwood, and that's supposed to be blow the whistle dead. Well, okay. Maybe they changed the rule book in the past week. I don't know. Procedure penalty. I think that should have been a procedure penalty, but whatever. So it's incomplete. 4th and 7 now for Ravenwood. And Father Ryan's defense, once again, preventing Ravenwood from getting a first down. They still don't have one in this game. Less than 4 minutes to go in this. And now we have another whistle. There were 13 seconds on the play clock, so it wasn't an issue of that.
Seems as though Father Ryan's going to take a timeout.
Well, indeed, the Irish will take a timeout here on this 4th and 7. We'll take one as well. Father Ryan leading 6-0. We'll be right back here on ATW Sportscast. .358 to go in the first quarter. Father Ryan leads Ravenwood 6-0. The Irish opting to call timeout, with Ravenwood looking at a 4th and 7. And a likely punting situation here for the Raptors. It's a low snap, but the Irish didn't bring any pressure. A deep punt filled by Quinn Warren inside the 20. Brings it close to the 25-yard line. And that's going to be as far as he will get it. A nice job, Sam French. Number 86 for Ravenwood. He's their place kicker, kickoff specialist, punter, anything kicking related. And he's got a strong leg too, so something to keep in mind as this game plays on. 3:48 to go first quarter. Father Ryan leading 6-0 and ready to start its second offensive drive in this game.
And before we took that timeout, I'd just like to point out that the Irish defense had a great stand there. Another good defensive standing by them to stymie the Ravenwood offense there. Definitely good plays by them to get good coverage and block them up.
Houston Crouch in at running back. It's 2 receivers to either side. It'll be a throw complete. Rector to the near side. Wyatt Rector takes a hard hit. They brought down after, well, maybe he got back to the line of scrimmage. Why they set that one up. So it's Anthony McCarthy on the stop for Ravenwood. Good job by him. A 6'1", 225-pound senior playing outside linebacker in this 4-3 scheme that Ravenwood runs.
And definitely a good job by Wyatt Rector right there to hold on to the ball on a tough hit like that.
Trips receivers to the far side. 4 receivers overall with one on this near side on 2nd and 10. Out of the shotgun, Seamus O'Connell feels the pressure. It's going to roll towards the far side. It's going to be flushed. Catches a nice block from Rector. Gets past the line of scrimmage, spins around. And he'll finally go out of bounds, or at least have his forward progress stopped after maybe a 2-yard gain on that far side. It appears they're going to spot the ball at the 26-yard line of Father Ryan. So 3rd and 8 for the Irish. They need to get the ball to past their own 34-yard line.
And Seamus O'Connell right there showing his Johnny Manziel-like playmaking abilities right there, being able to extend plays and keep the ball out of Ravenwood's hands.
So on 3rd down, rolling to the near side, O'Connell throws back over the middle, and it's caught. What a catch on a high throw. Wow. Has a mustard on it, but a good reception there, William Riley.
What an outstanding catch there by William Riley. Great job with the concentration to hold on to it.
That'll get the ball all the way to the Irish 49-yard line. So Father Ryan 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions in this game. They lead 6-0, 2:21 to go here in the first quarter.
Big plays like that are going to be necessary for tonight because the Irish are facing a very tough Ravenwood team, so that was a great play by the Irish to keep it moving.
Trips receivers to the far side for Father Ryan on this 1st and 10. Play never really got started properly. Now there's a true false start for you because they blow the play dead on a false start. So the Irish going in the wrong direction after getting the 1st down. Now will face a 1st and 15 at their own 44-yard line.
Certainly not the move that the Irish wanted to make there, but definitely going to need to build off of that once the play continues.
A few scores of interest. McCauley is trailing at Blessed Trinity in Georgia 14-6 in the second. Baylor up 28-0 at Chattanooga Christian. And Brentwood Academy tied up with Knox Catholic 7-7. On this play, it'll be a handoff Antonio Wright on 1st and 15. And he got maybe 2 yards on the play. And Anthony McCarthy, this near side outside linebacker, making the stop for the Raptors. Actually, we'll say a 1-yard loss on that one. 4 receivers again for Father Ryan, 2 on either side. A minute 30 to go first quarter. Irish up 6-0. Out of the shotgun. Throwing down the field. It'll fall incomplete. A dangerous play. A good job. Seth Erickson, cornerback senior, there preventing the pass from getting to Jackson Bird, who looked like had a seam up the middle. Good defense, though. And this, for Ravenwood, is where their strength is. Their secondary. You know, they got some linebackers that can make tackles. Their front 4, a lot of times, those are, from what I've seen on video at least, they'll bring those 4 and
absolutely,
and not necessarily be able to get the push that you would expect if you're using that approach. But for Father Ryan now, it'll be on this 3rd and 11, 4 receivers, 3 to the far side. Look, not everybody was ready on that one. O'Connell's going to be flushed under pressure and brought down for a sack. Anthony McCarthy calling his name again.
Tough play there by the Irish, and Seamus O'Connell couldn't do anything right there. They flushed him right there, like you said, in the pocket.
So on that one, the Raptors brought a bit of pressure, and it paid off for them. And on 4th and 19, with less than a minute to go here in this first quarter, Irish leading 6-0, but it will be Jackson Bird lining up for his first punt of this game.
And some Irish fans might be wondering, Jackson Bird, he plays all over the field. That's about, you would be correct. He's punting, he receives, and he plays on defense.
Spinning end over end punt. It might have hit a player. I think it did. It hit a player for Ravenwood. Officials are going to blow it dead at the spot. So either Father Ryan downed it there, and that's what they're going to say. It'll be 1st and 10. That ball came very close to hitting one of those Raptor players out there. That's
absolutely. That's what it might have looked like.
I mean, it seems like year after year up here in this booth, I see this all the time for both teams, it seems like, for whoever's out there playing, as far as players not being aware that, for a punt return, if that ball hits you, it's a live ball and the opposition can jump on it.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
So Ravenwood, if nothing else, caught a break there. Father Ryan, though, manages to set the Raptors back at their own 33, and that's where they'll start on this 1st and 10. 37 seconds to go first quarter. Father Ryan leads 6-0. Ravenwood sent a man in motion. Says it's going to be a handoff. Cameron Shearer found no room at all there. Father Ryan defense up to the task.
Father Ryan defense has just been setting the tone here. They've been dominating the Ravenwood O-line here and just have been setting the tone the whole time, and that's the way they've been able to keep it with a shutout so far, and so they've been having a great game overall.
Ravenwood may get one more playoff here, approaching the 10-second mark of this first quarter. They love putting guys in motion. That's going to be the case here. They fake the handoff, a throw over the middle, a great hit. Caught for the completion, so props.
Great hit there by Anthony Wright. Ooh.
Yeah, Andrew Mason with the reception. The 5, I don't know if he's really 5'9", 135 and able to hold on to that one like he did, but nevertheless, a hard hit, a good completion, and the last play of the first quarter. So after one, your score, Father Ryan 6, Ravenwood nothing. We'll be right back on ATW Sportscast. And so we start the second quarter here at Giacosa Stadium on the campus of Father Ryan High School. Lou Pickney and Austin Wright with you here on the call. I want to talk to you real quick about Father Ryan's open house. This is for prospective students and families. It's going to be held here on campus Sunday, October 22nd. That's from 12:30 to 4. The event provides an opportunity for families to get an introduction to everything that Father Ryan has to offer. Open house events open to any family that is interested in learning more about Father Ryan High School and the wonderful Catholic education their child can receive right here. More information online, fatherryan.org/events. So Ravenwood now looking at a 3rd and 2 to start this second quarter. They trail Father Ryan 6-0, and they're going to send a man in motion. Instead, it's going to be the quarterback keeping it himself. Spun around, finally brought down well enough for a first down as he gets past midfield. That's Nick Stallcup. Now Stallcup's a senior. He's almost a Wildcat-style runner when he's in there, although he can throw the ball. But Garcia, the much smaller, younger quarterback, managing to get a lot of playing time there. They've managed to use Stallcup in a variety of ways, but right now in there, and he's going to hand it off on this 1st and 10. Father Ryan's defense able to stretch and prevent Anthony Holmes on the jet sweep from getting anything more than maybe a yard.
You know, the Irish D-line overall has been playing a great game, being able to stay on top of the Ravenwood O-line and being able to set the tone for most of the whole game.
Irish making some quick substitutions. 2nd and a long 9 here for Ravenwood. Ball at the Irish 48-yard line. Father Ryan leading 6-0.
Seems as though the whistle blowing it dead.
Yeah. Still plenty of time on the play clock. 13 seconds there. Apparently some sort of a procedural thing for the officials as they will reset the play clock, but that won't matter as Ravenwood is ready to go here on this 2nd and 9 out of the shotgun. Be a throw to the far side complete. It's dangerous in that open field. Finally enough for a first down, forced out around the 38-yard line. Anthony Holmes, he scored on a very similar play against Page a couple of weeks ago. So they'll mark it at the Father Ryan 38, 1st and 10 Ravenwood as they start to press closer. Irish making some substitutions on defense, trying to get some fresh bodies in there, including Houston Crouch and Ben Smith.
And absolutely, as you said before about Holmes, he's definitely a dangerous player that the Irish should look out for.
And look out, Garcia throwing deep, has a man there, and about a half-yard overthrown. Father Ryan defensively had both Marcel Fogg and Hunter Hopkins in the vicinity. But there's a reason that Garcia kid's in there, only as a sophomore. But, man, he can throw the ball with distance and accuracy, but on that one, about a half-yard overshot. So 2nd and 10 now for Ravenwood. 10:47 to go, second quarter. Father Ryan leads 6-0.
Absolutely. Definitely a good play there by the Irish secondary, able to hold him step by step and make the quarterback overthrow it.
Dangerous play, though. That would have been there.
Mm-hmm.
But Garcia's not afraid to chuck the ball, throw it to the near side. That's going to be complete. Past the 30. Spin move to the 25-yard line. Finally brought down around the 22-yard line. Another play there. Anthony Holmes been all over the place thus far in this game for the Raptors. Stopped for the Irish by Nick Watson on this near side. That moves the chains 1st and 10. 10:34 to go second quarter. Father Ryan leads 6-0. But the Raptors are on the move with the ball at the Irish 22.
And for this upcoming play, the Irish definitely should be looking out for a pass, as Ravenwood has been using shotgun primarily over this whole game.
They like the quick pass to the outside. That's what they'll do here. Be complete. And maybe a 2-yard gain, if that, for the Irish. And a couple of defenders in there. Gray Irwin helping with a stop. Also Nick Watson. So they'll say no gain on that outlet pass. 2nd and 10 Ravenwood. Back to the line quickly. Father Ryan's going to bring a little bit of pressure to the near side. It's going to be complete at the 20. Dancing the sideline, going to get out of bounds. They finally do near the 10. A flag comes in late, so we'll see what that was. Nick Stallcup, what we mentioned is that almost Wildcat-style quarterback. But on that one, they swung him out, and they got some pretty good distance, unless this penalty will force it back against the Raptors. but it's against Father Ryan, a face mask penalty. So that will be a personal foul half the distance to the goal. So first and goal for the Ravenwood Raptors. Ball spotted at the Irish 9-yard line. Exactly 10 minutes to go, second quarter. Father Ryan leads 6-0.
Bad mental error there for the Irish to give Ravenwood some good field position right now, right in the red zone. So hopefully the Irish can hold them up right here as the play continues right now.
Yeah, teased the jet sweep. Instead, it will be Nick Stahlcup keeping it himself for maybe a 2-yard gain. Cameron Shearer was in motion there for Ravenwood. They'll use motion almost every play. It's like they try to get to the line as quick as they can, make it where you can't react to what they're doing. Put a guy in motion to make it even more confusing and try and take advantage of your confusion. On the flip side for the defense, if you're prepared, you hope that you've been able to contain that. So second and goal from the 8. And again, motion is used. Faking the handoff, be a throw by Stahlcup. A nice tackle by Marcel Fogg, the 1 or 2 yard line. Evan Coleman on the reception.
Absolutely, a big stop there by Marcel Fogg to keep the Ravenwood receiver right down at the, well, it seems to be the 1 yard line.
Irish had the ball in almost the exact same spot in the first quarter, knocking on the door, finally got a touchdown. Now they're going to try and stop Ravenwood in a similar situation. 9:15 and counting here in the second quarter. Father Ryan leads at 6-0.
And although Ravenwood does love to pass, Irish defense does need to be prepared here for this upcoming play for a run.
A toss to the outside, into the end zone, touchdown Ravenwood, Anthony Holmes. So Holmes gets the toss, takes it in. That ties the game at 6. Keep in mind, Father Ryan went for a 2-point conversion, got it, but then because of a penalty that, for whatever reason, they didn't replay it, don't ask me why. It gives Ravenwood the opportunity here to take the lead should they hit this extra point. And certainly from a kicking game advantage, Ravenwood, its advantage Raptors. Sam French has a very strong leg, whereas for Father Ryan, starting kicker Zach Wesnowski is out with an injury. Good snap. Kick is well through the uprights and good. So 9:02 to go here in the second quarter, and Ravenwood has taken the lead 7-6. We'll keep it right here just because I almost got to catch your breath for a second. I hate to keep cutting you off as they get to the line of scrimmage, but I mean,
that up-tempo style, that's what happens.
It's a frenetic pace.
Absolutely.
Exciting to watch as a fan, a lot to keep track of. And something to keep in mind, though, with Ravenwood, they love to put guys in motion. They try and confuse you.
Absolutely.
And try and get the matchup that they like.
That's right. With all that motion and misdirection that's going on, the Irish are definitely being kept on their toes, and it proved to be effective for Ravenwood there on that drive, being up 7-6 now with 9 minutes left.
So for Father Ryan, and again, for those of you just joining us, it was Ravenwood that won the opening coin toss and opted to receive. So the Irish will be able to receive the ball to start the second half, but that's a long way between now and this on this homecoming Friday night here. Father Ryan looking at a victory in their first ever matchup in football against the Raptors of Ravenwood down in Williamson County.
Anyway, Father Ryan and Ravenwood being in such close proximity, it is surprising that this is their first matchup ever on the gridiron.
Well, and part of it's because Ravenwood didn't come around until after the public-private split in '97, and so that's post that, and it's just a matter of when you only have 4 games, give or take, to play that are outside of your district, it's a little tough. Long kickoff will go well into the purple turf for the automatic touchback. Not a surprise from what I've seen on film from Sam Fritsch. He's got that very strong leg. So Father Ryan will start this drive with its worst starting field position of the game, 1st and 10 at the Irish 20.
Now for the Irish here, hopefully they can keep their ground game going against the fairly weak Ravenwood line from what we have seen, and hopefully the Irish can move the ball effectively through there with Jackson Bird and Antonio Wright, and we will see what they come up with on this upcoming play.
Irish will start 1st and 10 with 4 receivers, 2 to either side. And then the shotgun is Seamus O'Connell keeping it himself. Finds an opening to this near side, brought down after a 7-yard gain. Seamus O'Connell running the ball on the QB keeper.
Good play there by Seamus O'Connell. His mobility is just great to have whenever you run an offense that Coach Rector does with the up-tempo style, and he was able to continue to extend plays, and he just does such a great job of making sure that the ball is never in danger.
Cole Carto and Darius Harper there, 2 defenders on the stop for the Raptors. 2nd and 3 Irish, ball at their own 27-yard line. We get a flag and whistles blow. Father Ryan had an issue with self-inflicted penalties and mistakes last week against NBA. So it's a false start against the Irish. And 2nd and 8 now turns into 2nd and 13.
Another mistake there by the Irish leading to another penalty. It seems as though this is almost like JP2 where a multitude of penalties were just thrown on field. And
well, there were a lot of penalties on both teams in that one. That was
yes,
that was very much excessive in my estimation. 8:20 to go first half. Father Ryan trails 7-6. So Seamus O'Connell keeping himself, get to maybe the 23 or 24 yard line. So a couple of yards there. Instead of about a 3rd and 6 for the Irish here. Approaching the 8-minute mark of this second quarter, Father Ryan down by 1.
And now with this 3rd and 5 here, the Irish are going to have to figure out what they want to do. They've got a solid ground game going, and they've had the pass work a couple of times. So once they come up here, it seems as though a play action might be in the works, and because they do have a receiver lined up next to Seamus O'Connell, so we will see.
4 receivers, 2 to either side on this 3rd and 5. O'Connell's going to try and keep it himself, running up the middle, and he's get to the 30. He won't. He stopped about 2.5 yards shy on that QB scramble.
The QB scramble not enough there for Seamus O'Connell, and the Irish will have to punt off their worst field position, like you said earlier.
Well, look, Seamus is still in there. They're setting him as if they're going to go for it. I expect the QB punt right here, though, unless they're going to go hard count, which they do. Watch Seamus step back, get this long snap, and then punt the ball. And indeed, that's what he does. Nobody back there for Ravenwood. Takes a Father Ryan bounce after landing in Raptor territory. Will finally go out of bounds at the Ravenwood 37-yard line. So good job there by Father Ryan. I don't know why Ravenwood didn't have somebody back. If they watched any game film at all on Father Ryan, they should have seen it. So whatever the case for Father Ryan.
Definitely interesting by them to not have a man back.
Whatever the case, that's what they decided to do. Maybe they thought Father Ryan was going to go for it. Mm-hmm. And certainly the Irish with their quarterback in there, Seamus O'Connell, and they decided to perhaps play it safe if nothing else. So Ravenwood leads Father Ryan 7-6. 7 minutes and 2 seconds to go, second quarter. And now Ravenwood looking at 1st and 10. It'll be a 2 running back look. Players on either side of Garcia, the quarterback. Garcia pump fakes, he throws deep. Man coverage. And it falls incomplete. It looked like it was a near opportunity for an interception there for the Irish.
Hunter Hopkins there with great coverage there on Miller Powell for Ravenwood. He's been having a good night for the Irish. Hunter Hopkins has, being able to cover receivers all night.
I ask a lot of Hopkins, particularly when that injury happened to Cade Pfeiffer, out for the season, torn ACL. I hate that for him. Quickly back to the line, I came in storytell on this one. So on 2nd and 10, it's going to be a throw to the near side, complete. Finally brought down to the 45-yard line, about 2 yards shy of the first down line to gain. Once again, Anthony
Holmes. And with that, though, there is also a penalty on the field.
Oh, you're right. At the back of the 35. And it's holding against the Raptors. So take that one off the board. And that's going to march the Raptors back in the opposite direction. So instead of 2nd and 10, we'll see where they spot the ball. So it's a spot of the foul penalty, minus 10 yards. They march it back from there, and you will repeat the down. With Father Ryan accepting the penalty. 6:50 to go, second quarter. Ravenwood leads Father Ryan 7-6.
Now a second and a long 22 here for Ravenwood. Hopefully the Irish can keep them back there and keep the pressure on them with such a long down.
Setting up the pass. Garcia's going to throw deep, but he overthrows his receiver. Marcel Fogg was there step for step with the intended receiver, Parker Nash. Nash has got some height on him. 6'3", 175. It's very much a legit listing from everything I've seen, but a good job there by Marcel Fogg, the Irish, the 5'11 senior corner, able to provide the defense on that one, although the ball went over both of their heads, so worked out for the Irish. Now quickly back, 3rd and 22. Garcia, he's fearless. He's going to throw it on the run, downfield, dangerous pass. And it's an interception for Father Ryan.
Wow, what a great catch there by Gray Irwin to get the interception and make a turnover on downs. And the Irish get the ball here. It seems to be on the 41-yard line. What a great play.
So it's the first turnover for either team in this game. Garcia, and seeing him on video, this is the same kid I saw from against Page and a couple of highlights against some other teams. He's fearless. He'll run. He'll throw against his body, and sometimes that works. But in that case, 3rd and 22, you figure, what do you have to lose? But in that case, Father Ryan's defense up to the task. Ray Irwin there to make the interception. And so Father Ryan will start its next offensive drive here at its own 41-yard line. 1st and 10 Irish, 6:27 to go first half. Father Ryan trailing by 1. Seamus O'Connell's going to hand it off Run up the middle, get maybe 2 or 3 yards tops for Houston Crouch. A couple of defenders in there for Ravenwood, Brandon Huff and Seth Erickson. I mentioned Huff earlier, really good tackler, their middle linebacker. Something from Father Ryan that they do differently from Ravenwood, as much as they're similar. Father Ryan has guys playing both sides of the ball, not much at all of that for Ravenwood, although they do sub guys in quite a bit. 2nd and 8 for the Irish, less than 6 minutes to go, second quarter. O'Connell from the shotgun. Under pressure, looked like he had a receiver open to this near side and says he's going to throw it. Dangerous to across his body, intended for Rector. And the pass falls incomplete. Defensively for Ravenwood, Seth Erickson, the corner there, to help break that one up.
Definitely would have been a tough pass to make there for Seamus O'Connell, throwing it across your body, like you said, and throwing it into the middle. He's been having trouble throwing it in the middle because the Ravenwood secondary has been doing well covering up against the Irish down there.
5:47 to go, first half. Father Ryan trails 7-6, looking at 3rd and 8 at their own 43-yard line. They've got to get it to the Raptors' 49 to get a first down. O'Connell throwing, bit of a rainbow pass. William Raleigh brought it in, but he was already a couple of steps out of bounds by the time he did. Nothing you could do on that one. O'Connell heaved it up there, but a bit too much mustard on that. And Father Ryan will likely be punting here as Jackson Bird sets up in that traditional spot.
That's right. The miscalculation, just not quite enough for Seamus O'Connell to get it to William Riley. It was a good thought, but just not quite well executed enough.
Showing some respect for Jackson Bird's leg strength as Nick Stallcup set to return. He's got his heels on his own 20. And indeed, a booming kick. Jackson Bird will be fielded at the 16. It's fumbled. He muffed it. Once they finally regained it. And that's where they'll blow it dead. So Jackson Bird, after having a couple of struggles punting last week against NBA, got everything you can hope for into that one. And that's going to set up Ravenwood for its worst starting field position to start a drive. The ball at their own 18-yard line. 5:31 to go first half. Ravenwood leading Father Ryan 7-6. Stop to catch your breath for just a second on this one. These teams don't give you much time at all to chat between plays. It's 4 receivers, 3 to the near side of this 1st and 10. Garcia is going to be forced out of the pocket, scrambling for maybe a 5, possibly a 6-yard gain depending on the spot. Or check that, it was actually Stallcup they've got in a quarterback. They like to switch between the two. Stallcup, such a dangerous runner. But he can throw the ball as well, so you have to respect that. He picked up 5 yards there for the Raptors. So we approach the 5-minute mark of the second quarter. 2nd and 5. Be another QB keeper by he stood up for maybe a 1-yard gain. Say Stallcup stood up there by the Irish defense. Saw Niles Gaddy in the vicinity there.
And as you said before, Stallcup and Garcia are both great quarterbacks for Ravenwood, and definitely great dual options there for Ravenwood to utilize no matter where they've got the ball on the field.
So it's 3rd and 3. Send a man in motion to be a handoff, and it's going to get blown up. A great job for Father Ryan. Austin Crow getting in there. And the senior, actually a tackle for loss by the time it's said and done.
Great play by Austin Crow. He's been having a great year for the Irish, getting good tackle there.
Also hearing Nick Watson's name mentioned on that stop for the Irish. So 4th and 4 for Ravenwood. Clock ticking down, 4:10 to go second quarter. Ravenwood leading 7-6. Father Ryan has to make sure they don't jump offside here. 4th and less than 5. What happened last week against the NBA with that field goal try. I'm still sick about it. But hey, that was a legitimate play. It was a low snap. Managed to get it away. Good job by French. Quinn Warren will let it bounce. That's a smart thing to do, but unfortunately for the Irish, it will take a very generous roll for the Raptors. And they're going to finally have that ball blown dead all the way back at the Father Ryan 20-yard line. So, again, that's where that special teams strength that Ravenwood has, the kicker position with French. Father Ryan down by 1, 3:45 to go here in this first half. It's been very much an exciting back and forth. They're only being 7-6.
Absolutely, definitely a great game by both sides. And Father Ryan, although the score is 7-6, they have been playing a great game, holding Ravenwood very well.
Father Ryan, and both teams have very similar offenses. I imagine you've picked up on by now. 4 receivers, 2 to either side for the Irish on this 1st and 10. It's going to be a handoff. Look at this, Antonio Wright. I couldn't tell the number from my vantage point there. Not much. Indeed it was.
Mm-hmm.
And Wright will pick up Looks like 2 yards on that carry. He's a little spotted at the Irish 22-yard line. 3:30 to go first half. Father Ryan's down 7-6. At halftime, maybe I'll be able to get an explanation for what happened in that 2-point conversion that was successful, but then a flag was thrown. I still don't get that.
Yes, there's definitely an explanation needed from the refs on that one. That was definitely an interesting play. I've never seen that.
It's probably ignorance on my part, but it's still frustrating. 2nd and 8, 5 receivers, or 4, check that for the Irish, is Wright's in the block. It'll be a throw to the far side, incomplete. A little bit low on the pass, intended for Quinn Warren.
Tough drop there by Quinn Warren, and Father Ryan got some good ideas there on offense, just not able to execute some of them as they have dropped the pass right there.
Stop the clock at the 3:05 mark of the second quarter. Ravenwood leading Father Ryan 7-6. Of course, as had been mentioned, Father Ryan head coach Brian Rector, the head coach when Ravenwood won the state title in 2005. So on 3rd and 8, O'Connell from the shotgun is going to roll to the far side. Looks like he wanted to throw back. Somehow gets away from a defender. The slipperiness of O'Connell. Seamus O'Connell is going to run with it. And he should have the first down by the time it's said and done as he gets past the 30-yard line. We marked at the Irish 31. And that will be enough to move the chains. Good job, Seamus O'Connell, on that QB keeper.
Absolutely. Great job by Seamus O'Connell to bowl his way through and get through to make a first down for the Irish. Great setup by him.
Officials are calling for a timeout.
Seems as though one of the Irish players is tying their shoes and Ravenwood's trying to make a substitution.
I imagine the officials were looking as far as from a spot where they spot the ball. I was presuming it was a first down. Indeed it is. I don't know if they had an issue with the chains or what, but
because it seems as though the official over here was spotted on the 31.
And that's ultimately where the proper spot was, at least in my estimation. So Father Ryan with the first down. Pretty important right there. Irish trail by 1. Less than 3 minutes to go in this first half, and a sustained drive on offense, particularly one that is buoyed by the run, which is a weakness for Ravenwood's defense, or at least it has been this year.
Absolutely, and as we get closer and closer to halftime, first downs are going to be coming at a premium for the Irish, and they're going to be more and more important because we've been having such a low-scoring game. And
it was a pass to Rector, complete. It was ripped away by Ravenwood. And Father Ryan's first turnover as Seamus O'Connell saves a touchdown in the corner.
And somehow another Anthony McCarthy came up with the ball.
McCarthy, look, the ball was ripped away. Rector made the catch. He got hit right away. Somehow, ball was torn away. So this is a dangerous situation now for Father Ryan. Instead of having what looked like a decent amount of momentum after getting a first down on 3rd and long from the O'Connell QB keeper. I presume they'll say it was a fumble. It did not look like it was intercepted. But whatever the case, it was ripped away.
Absolutely.
Good job by Ravenwood to do that. And O'Connell turning the Jets on to save the touchdown. But Irish defense now facing a tough task. 1st and goal for Ravenwood at the 4. They have a major problem, guys colliding. You put guys in motion, and sometimes that happens.
Absolutely. It's a great stop there by Father Ryan. They need some big stops as they have been pushed back all the way down to their own 6 or 7-yard line,
I think that might have been Andrew Mason on that one for Ravenwood. I couldn't quite tell. They're going to bring Mason in motion on this one to the far side. 13 seconds on the play clock, 2:10 to go first half. So Ravenwood lost 3 on that. It's 2nd and goal from the 7. Out of the shotgun. Quarterback keeps it himself, under pressure. Can they bring him down? The foul will be brought to the turf, but I think it was by his face mask. We'll get a flag.
That's what it seemed. But there are penalty flags flown.
So they finally managed to bring down Nick Stallcup. Again, he's like the 1B quarterback, if you will. Also line up at a receiver or running back when they have Garcia, the sophomore, in there. We'll wait and see what the penalty was, but indeed a face mask penalty against the Irish. So Ravenwood will have the ball. We'll wait and see where they spot it.
Another tough penalty by the Irish there. Another mistake by them, but they had to do what they had to do to stop him because otherwise he had an open hole down there.
I don't know that it was a mistake because he's getting in the end zone. I'd grab that guy with a face mask and do a triple twist if you need to. You do what you have to keep him out. I mean, you play it fair and play it clean. But point being, you do what you can to keep your opponents out of the end zone. So now 1st and goal from the 2. They're going to move quickly on this one. Handoff sweep into the end zone. Touchdown for Ravenwood. They extend their lead to 7 on the carry. Anthony Holmes, the junior, very speedy when he gets into the open field. He managed to get that near side corner. That puts Ravenwood up 13-6 because of Father Ryan having gone for 2 and having it nullified. An extra point kick here would put Ravenwood up by 8 late in this first half.
And as you said before, Anthony Holmes definitely a lethal player for Ravenwood, so he made so on that play down there for Ravenwood.
With a low snap, very strong kick as usual from this Ravenwood team, and it is good. Keep it here, 1:41 to go, first half. Ravenwood now up on Father Ryan, 14-6, but a reminder that the Irish will receive the ball to start the second half. I'll talk to you real quick about Star Physical Therapy. Same with Nashville Knee and Shoulder and Impact Sports Medicine, official sports medicine provider for Father Ryan Athletics. Michael Garner, certified athletic trainers, a multitude of doctors there, team doctors. Star Physical Therapy, serving the community. Father Ryan High School. More information, starpt.com. 1:41 to go first half. Father Ryan trails Ravenwood 14-6. Irish, though, with 2 timeouts remaining and ready to receive this kickoff from the Raptors.
Definitely a tough play for the Irish when they were on offense. Ravenwood able to strip it away and get it for good field position down there, and it was a tough defensive. It was tough for the defense to handle for Father Ryan. So, although the score is 14-6, Father Ryan is still playing a pretty good game, even though they had a few mistakes down there.
That turnover late in the first half for Ravenwood set them up for the second touchdown for the Raptors in this one. And with an 8-point lead is a deep kickoff that will almost for sure cross the plane to the goal line. It does, so the automatic touchback will get Father Ryan the ball 1st and 10 at his own 20-yard line. A minute 41 seconds to go here in the first half. Of course, we'll have an extended halftime here at the stadium. It's homecoming. Always an exciting evening when you have homecoming. People, alumni, friends, family, etc.
Absolutely. One of the best times of the year here at Father Ryan.
They had Pride in the Pit, the barbecue contest earlier. If I get any results from that, I'll pass that along. Maybe scores of interest in the barbecue.
Exactly.
So, that was from Pride in the Pit. 1st and 10 Irish at their own 20. It's a 4-receiver look. O'Connell is going to keep it himself. Past the 25 to the 30, past the 35 to the 40. Has a seam and some blockers past midfield. Past the 40 to the 35 to the 30 to the 25. Finally forced out of bounds. What a run there, Seamus O'Connell.
Wow, what an awesome run there by Seamus O'Connell to burst through the hole and get all the way down to what they're calling the 20-yard line. Wow, what an awesome play.
Seamus started at the Irish 20. He ended at the Raptors 20. So a 60-yard carry by Seamus O'Connell with his team down by 8 late in the first half. Showing some good leadership there, the junior. And so Ravenwood's going to call timeout, and understandably so. So keep it here, a minute 29 to go first half. Father Ryan got the opening touchdown, had the 2-point conversion that was called off for a penalty. Raptors took the lead with a touchdown of their own and an extra point. Then a second touchdown not long ago from the dangerous Anthony Holmes. And the extra point made it 14-6. Ravenwood ahead of Father Ryan. But now the Irish with the ball spotted at they've got it at the 15-yard line. I thought it got 20 to 20, so that's actually a 65-yarder.
Wow.
The run there for Seamus by the time from where they actually marked it.
Even more impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I think credit to him. He's got speed, but when you're playing quarterback, and especially not in a situation where you're swapping back and forth like he was for the first couple of games with Cade Pfeiffer before Pfeiffer's unfortunate injury, there's a lot of pressure on him. Of course, Father Ryan, DC Tabscott, is there as the start of the season as the third-string quarterback, but only a freshman.
That's right.
And so certainly O'Connell knows he needs to stay healthy, but he's got that kind of top-end speed at times. He's able to break it out almost unexpectedly. Very elusive in the pocket as well. Father Ryan's going to have 3 receivers, 2 to the far side. Jackson Bird standing to the right of the quarterback O'Connell on this 1st and 10 for the Irish. 1:29 to go first half. They trail Ravenwood 14-6.
An absolutely great play by Seamus O'Connell in response to the Ravenwood
snap.
play.
It was a bad snap. O'Connell's going to try and make something out of it. And it's going to be thrown to the turf. So O'Connell, instead of just jumping on the ball, tries to make something happen. And that's going to be, what was that, more than a 20-yard loss?
That's what it seems. 35, yes. 20-yard loss.
Wow. So Father Ryan, after looking at 1st and 10 from the Raptors 15, the bad snap puts the Irish in a deficit. 1 minute to go, first half. Father Ryan trails by 8.
Tough miscue there for Seamus O'Connell down there to let the ball go like that.
So on 2nd and 30, O'Connell under pressure, throws down the middle, has a receiver there, and it's nearly caught, nearly intercepted, batted around a bit. Cole Carto was there defensively for Ravenwood, but really had a reception there for the Irish.
And with the juggling act down there, it ends up on the ground
Yeah.
to the betterment of Father Ryan.
Well, it would have depended if, say, William Raleigh could have come up with it. That would have been something. But now,
Absolutely.
But now 3rd and 30 for Father Ryan. Again, without, and not to keep harping on the same point, but without their starting normal kicker in there. And Father Ryan's not want to go for field goals much anyway.
Absolutely.
So without that, Irish, it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. 3rd and 30. O'Connell will throw a little quick pass to Irwin. Gray Irwin stays on his feet. Pass to 30 on that sideline. He'll finally be stopped out of bounds inside the Raptors' 30-yard line.
Now, this will be a critical upcoming play for the Irish. Now, will they kick it? More than likely, no, but it should be interesting to see what they will do.
In some ways, I don't know that it helped the Irish for the clock to stop there. Both teams with 2 timeouts remaining, because it's 4th and 22. Now, you're not going to kick it. This is not a situation where Irish are going to kick it unless they truly surprise me. You never know, and that's something.
It's always a possibility. With Coach Rector's offense, it is a possibility with him. He does like to keep the element of surprise.
Father Ryan is not afraid to use the trick play from time to time. So we're looking at 4th and 22 for the Irish at the Ravenwood 27-yard line. Father Ryan trails by 8 points. Very late here in this first half. Father Ryan talking things over on the sideline. They ended up calling a timeout, so I don't know if he actually did get out of bounds. But Father Ryan, now with only 1 timeout remaining, although it's almost immaterial at this point, unless they get a first down without getting a touchdown, which is possible. They don't have to get it to the end zone. They have to get it past the 5-yard line. That or a penalty against Ravenwood. Those are the only options for the Irish unless they want to have it be a turnover on downs.
In either situation, perfectly acceptable because there is 38 seconds left. And it's definitely a good buffer for the Irish to work with.
I think it's Nick Miller in there in the slot for the Irish on this 4th and very long. O'Connell under pressure is going to throw it deep, has a receiver open, and it's incomplete. Gray Irwin there. A little bit dangerous. Cole Carto, the free safety for the Raptors there. But it will fall incomplete and be a turnover on downs. 31 seconds to go first half. Ravenwood has the ball at its own 27-yard line. Be interesting to see if they're going to be content to take this to the halftime locker room or if they're going to try and make something happen here late in this first half. Again, the turning point in the game, though, Father Ryan was down by 1, and it was a pass, Seamus O'Connell to Wyatt Rector, and I can't pull up a replay here to assess it, but it appeared the ball ripped away. A really good player for Ravenwood, nearly getting to the end zone with it. And ultimately they were able to punch it in, and that's how we got to 14-6. Ravenwood's not going to be taking a knee here. Look at this. They're going to go with a jet sweep toward the near side. Hard hit will force them out of bounds. Trying to get a view of the numbers of the players that were involved, like Cameron Shearer there for Ravenwood. The clock stops. He got out of bounds. A 1-yard gain after all of that. A 2nd and 9, 26 seconds to go here in the first half. 18 seconds on the play clock, so Ravenwood content to evaluate things for a moment, look to the sideline. The Garcia, the sophomore, he's slippery, rolling toward the far side. Complete first down for the Raptors.
Luckily, Father Ryan tackled him inside. The clock does keep running.
Nick Stallcup on the reception for Ravenwood. You're right. As soon as they set those chains, the clock will wind again. Although,
and there will be a timeout for Ravenwood. Interesting. They seem to want to go for it.
Well, I think that was obvious from the way they came out. You could have just taken a knee a couple of times and taken it to the locker room.
Sure.
But that's not what they're looking for here. This
very interesting.
It's been very interesting to read about Brian Garcia, the quarterback, number 4. And again, he shares time with number 2, Nick Stallcup. Of course, Stallcup, as he's shown, receiving and running the ball. He's a dangerous player in a lot of different ways. And so able to utilize him that way, the Raptors in turn bringing in that sophomore. Now, as we've already seen in this game, Garcia is not shy about throwing the ball into perhaps tight
no doubt.
situations. Father Ryan with 1 interception already. But it'll be 1st and 10 for the Raptors at their own 42-yard line. They lead Father Ryan 14-6. 17 seconds to go, first half. Motion on this play. That's like you see almost every play for Ravenwood. Father Ryan only brings 3. Garcia's going to run with it. And he'll go out of bounds at the Raptors' 48-yard line. 6-yard gain, but only 8 seconds remain on the clock.
Certainly an interesting offense by Ravenwood to keep it moving, and with all the motion and all the misdirections that they have. It is definitely an interesting offense that they have going into this season. Certainly with their 3rd coach in 3 years.
That is a fact. That is a fact. Coach Daniels, after losing his opener, has won 4 in a row for this Ravenwood team. Some delay out there as the officials, for whatever reason, are holding things up. So an official timeout. 8 seconds to go, first half. 2nd and 4 for Ravenwood. The ball at their own 48-yard line. Should be exciting at halftime to see the Father Ryan marching band out there. They work so hard, putting in many hours on a daily basis out there in the grueling heat of the summer to get ready for what is usually a very impressive presentation.
Absolutely. Going to be a great time.
So Ravenwood up by 8 with 1 timeout, but only 8 seconds remaining in this first half. Have the ball 2nd and 4 at their own 48-yard line. Irish only brought 3 defensively, dropping 8 back in coverage on the last play. Anticipate something similar from the Irish here.
Absolutely, and the officials are still standing over the ball. Interesting to see that they are still waiting on a move here.
Yeah, I'm at a loss to explain the reasoning for this.
As am I.
Whatever the case, they're going to try to make sure everything's right. Now they're ready to go. So here we go. 8 seconds, or no, 12 seconds. They're fixing the clock apparently. So 12 seconds. They had 4 seconds for the Raptors on this 2nd and 4. Garcia throws over the middle, a dart complete. 5 seconds. Parker Nash with the reception. You would figure they're going to use their last timeout here with Ravenwood. And indeed,
that's right. That's what it would seem. And there is a penalty.
So a flag down. They ran 7 seconds off on that play. So Ravenwood called for the penalty. That's going to send them 10 yards back from the spot of the foul. And it's not like they put the time back on the clock either when that happens. So only 5 seconds to go for Ravenwood. Wait and see where they actually spot the ball since it's 10 yards from the spot of the infraction. They will say it is at the Raptors' 32-yard line. And the clock ran down to 000, but that's not right. They'll have to put 5 seconds back on there. So some technical issues slowing things up in what has been just a very fast back and forth first half.
Absolutely, definitely. Both sides going back and forth with up-tempo style offenses. And it seems as though the officials have called it.
Well, apparently that both teams are willing to accept that as the finish. So they ran 5 seconds off the clock, and that is that with that. So after the first half, Father Ryan, after getting out to a 6-0 lead, finds itself down by 8. Score at halftime, Ravenwood 14, Father Ryan 6. We're going to take a break. Let the fans here enjoy this halftime performance, homecoming, all that celebration. And then we'll be back in the second half here in just a bit here on ATW Sportscast. So after an extended halftime with the pageantry you would expect with homecoming here at Father Ryan High School, the Irish prepare to take the field to begin the second half, trailing the Raptors of Ravenwood 14-6. Lou Pickney here with you, along with Austin Wright. Austin, of course, you with Behind the Crest, the student broadcast club here at Father Ryan High School. And every week I feel like I need to talk about it more and more because to me it's just a tremendous value for students that are interested in broadcasting, want to learn more about it, participate. This is such a great opportunity.
Absolutely. Thank you for that great comment. I mean, yeah, absolutely. This is a great club for anyone interested in broadcasting, filming, editing, using social media, and writing. It's just such a great and expandable club because we have so many different options and it covers so much ground, and it's a great opportunity for kids that are interested in sports but don't necessarily want to play them. It's a great way to stay connected to your fellow peers that are also in high school, and it's just a great way to get interested in sports media, what all we do, along with just being the aspects of like ESPN. I mean, that's what we do, and that's what we like to pride ourselves in. And then it's a great club, and it's always a fun time for no matter who's joined. I mean, we've had a lot of members join this year as well, with an influx from especially just our club day that we had a while back. So it's a great club to join, and we suggest everyone to check it out.
Well, it's my privilege to get to work with you guys on a weekly basis during football season here. So we'll start the second half of Ravenwood kicking toward the far side, and it'll cross the goal line for the automatic touchback before going out of bounds. So it'll be Irish ball 1st and 10 at their own 20. In a first half that was just felt like a sprint. Both teams quick to the line, 4 or 5 receiver formations, motion. And despite all of that, the score at the half 14-6. So a one possession game for the Irish as they start their first offensive drive of the second half.
No doubt. The first half felt like a whirlwind. It just went by so quickly for both sides, and with all the time being chewed off the clock so quickly, it's definitely a benefit for the defense. They didn't have to stay out there quite so long, but definitely interesting to see for the offenses.
On 1st and 10 complete to Nick Miller on the far sideline. Nice to see him getting back in on the act after being out a couple of weeks with an Achilles injury. Nice fake right there to start things off. O'Connell faking the handoff to Jackson Bird at running back. Opened up just enough time to set up Nick Miller to make what ends up being a 3-yard catch. 2nd and 7 for the Irish at their own 23.
Another good play there by Seamus O'Connell to get the ball moving on offense for the pass to Nick Miller.
So it's 3 receivers for the Irish on this 2nd and 7. Handoff Jackson Bird up the middle, plowing forward. Not quite there. He'll be about a yard and a half short. And that'll set up a 3rd and perhaps a long 2.
For this upcoming play for the Irish, pass has been working fairly well, but the run as well can work pretty well against Ravenwood since they do have that weaker D-line.
Father Ryan, they're going to say 3rd and 1 for the Irish. They have to get it past the 30-yard line. For the long count, O'Connell's going to hand it off, run up the middle for the first down, and then some. Jackson Bird past the 45, past midfield, finally brought down well into Raptors territory. Cole Carteau, finally the free safety able to make the stop, but the nose of the ball spotted at the Ravenwood 45-yard line. And also, we think about this season, Austin, how Father Ryan has adjusted at halftime. They did it last year, too. Under Coach Reck did a great job of this. And not to cut you off, but here we go again. 1st and 10 for the Irish. A handoff, Jackson Bird. Turf Monster helped to get him there. He got maybe 2 yards on that carry to the near side.
And now we have to make our own adjustments just to speed up to go along with it. But yes, like you were saying, yes, absolutely. Father Ryan making great adjustments at halftime and as well. I mean, it was evident as well with the JP2 game as well, because you could tell that, I mean, the paces for both sides just completely slowed down, and both sides just could not move the ball.
Remember Father Ryan down last week by 14 at the half to NBA and came back to tie that one up. So on 2nd and 7, it's going to be Houston Crouch into the game. Spun around on the tackle. Late flag comes in. I saw Montrell McKnight hit the deck for Father Ryan. I'm not sure what led up to that. It was not enough for a first down for the Irish there, but a penalty would give them an automatic first down. Indeed it will. So Ravenwood, with a 15-yard personal foul penalty, tacked that on to the end of the gain. And the Irish are on the move here to start this 3rd quarter.
Definitely a good play there. I mean, a good setup there for the Irish to work off of for a penalty. Definitely a good sign for them as they keep the ball moving, and with as well as a Houston Crouch with his good run he had.
By the time it's all said and done, the ball will be spotted at the Ravenwood 22-yard line on the near hash mark. Father Ryan quick to the line. 3 receivers, 2 to the far side. This first and 10 minutes to go third quarter. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. Houston Crouch got maybe 1 or 2 yards on that one. And quickly, just as much as Crouch snuck into the game, he's right back out. Jackson Bird back in there. Father Ryan rotating at running back, trying to keep the fresh bodies out there, while also maintaining the energy level for both guys as they're at times pressed into action at inside linebacker, particularly Jackson Bird. So here we go, 2nd and 9, 9:30 to go, third quarter. O'Connell's going to keep it himself, rolling out toward the far side. Escapes one tackler, escapes a second, and he'll be brought down after about an 8-yard carry. Nice job, Seamus O'Connell on the QB keeper.
Absolutely. Seamus O'Connell having a good night tonight, along with good runs and good passes by him. He's been having a solid game, for sure.
The one turnover the Irish had, I don't blame it on him. It's where the ball was ripped out of the hands of Wyatt Rector late in the first half. So on the 3rd and perhaps 2 or 3, Irish are going to run it toward the far side. Jackson Bird, and he will have the first down for the Irish.
Good job by Jackson Bird to extend and get it just enough for the first down. And like you said, yeah, with that last defensive play for the one turnover for Father Ryan, it definitely was just a good play by Ravenwood for one of their safeties.
Indeed. So now for the Irish, 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line of the Ravens. Again, Jackson Bird, he's pushing up the middle. And you can imagine Father Ryan's going to stick with the run after knowing how other teams, particularly in the second half, have had pretty good success running the ball against this Ravens, or I should say this Raptors team, the Ravenwood Raptors. So 2nd and 6 after the 4-yard gain by Jackson Bird. Ball spotted now at the Raptors' 8-yard line. Out of the gun. Be a handoff again. Jackson Bird into the end zone. Touchdown, Irish.
Jackson Bird with a great run, with a hole open up there by the O-line. Great touchdown by Father Ryan with the score now 14-12. Interesting PAT or possible 2-point conversion coming up for Father Ryan.
And so with freshman Zach Wisnowski out, Irish are, well, we'll see what they do here as they line up for what looks like an extra point. And it's good. So Wisnowski apparently hulked up at halftime.
I guess the halftime adjustments were just good enough for him to heal up and get ready for the game in the second half.
Brother, we're live on the air here. People trying to do run-ins in the booth here. 8:19 to go here in the third quarter. So Father Ryan gets the touchdown, opts for the extra point. Makes it a 14-13 game, but still plenty of time to go here. But Father Ryan showing that halftime adjustment once again coming out and getting a good start to the third quarter.
Absolutely. Definitely a good score there by Father Ryan. Great ground game movement there by Jackson Bird to get it in for the touchdown. Definitely a good play by him to burst through the O-line. O-line has been having great pressure, great movement up against the defensive line for Ravenwood. Open up great holes for Jackson Bird to run through, and it's been proven to go well for him.
Sam Mercado will handle the kickoff for the Irish. Father Ryan trailing 14-13, 8:19 to go third quarter. So Mercado will get a leg into it. A spinner toward the near side. That's a live ball. If it hits, the Irish could get it. Instead, it'll be Ravenwood picking it up. Bit of a dangerous play. That's for Father Ryan. You don't kick it deep in this particular situation, particularly with your normal kickoff guy on the mend. The ball is bouncing around. But then finally, Ravenwood able to get possession. They'll finally say the ball will be Raptors ball at their own 36-yard line. Ravenwood leads Father Ryan 14-13, 8:17 to go, third quarter.
Now an interesting defensive stand coming up here for the Irish, hopefully to stop Ravenwood and hopefully get the offense back on the field to score more.
Empty backfield for Garcia. He'll throw it out on this 1st and 10 to the ever-dangerous running back to the 40, to the 30, finally brought down. This is what Father Ryan needed to avoid. Anthony Holmes, so slippery. You get him in the open field. There's a reason that Ravenwood sets up these plays, trying to get him the ball in open space.
An absolutely lethal weapon, like you said. Anthony Holmes is definitely a great player for Ravenwood, and he's proven effective tonight against Father Ryan with some big plays.
8:07 to go third quarter. Father Ryan trails by 1. Ravenwood with the ball at the Irish 29. Ball hits the ground, at least for a moment. Garcia recovered his own fumble. Brian Garcia, he's an exciting quarterback to watch, the sophomore, number 4. He'll take turns in there with Nick Stallcup, number 2. When 4's in there, I mean, it's you never know what to expect, the sophomore. So it's his bunch formation to the near side. Another 5-receiver look. Second and long, and it's complete. Irish will prevent the first down. Appears by a yard or 2. It was Parker Nash on the reception. So 3rd and 1 now.
Big stand coming up here for the Irish. They need a big stop here on 3rd down to keep the Ravenwood offense from moving up.
It's actually 3rd and 3. Ravenwood will have to get the ball past the 20-yard line. And it's going to be a nice play by the Irish defense. It appeared. And Jack Boutte.
Jack Boutte with a great tackle there.
It's 4th down. Ravenwood's not wasting any time. Stallcup in there at quarterback. And a pistol look with one running back behind him. Now we'll look to the sideline. 17 seconds on the play clock.
And now they make a switch.
Well, 10 seconds now, and they're going to have to use a timeout. So Ravenwood, a little bit of confusion right there, as they seemed to think they were going to line up to go for it or try and see if Father Ryan had a defense they thought they could take advantage of. And they have the very dangerous Nick Stallcup in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost the Tim Tebow at Florida kind of thing, maybe about the jump pass, but but very, very adept at running the ball. So in that case, then they apparently had a change of heart, because a field goal would give Ravenwood a 4-point lead by 1 right now. And they do have the advantage on the kicking game with Sam French, the 5'11 senior. He's got a pretty strong leg. Time will tell if this proves to be the right decision for Ravenwood. Of course, Father Ryan, after jumping offside on 4th and less than 5 on a field goal attempt in the second half last week against NBA, one would hope the Irish will have discipline on this one to not perhaps be pulled off by a long count. This is going to be about a 39-yard field goal attempt. French has the leg on the way, and it's good. So from 39 yards out, Sam French extends the Ravenwood lead to 4. Now the Raptors up 17-13 on the Irish.
Although Ravenwood did score the well-kicked field goal, Father Ryan Irish will be looking for another score themselves and hopefully get some more ground game going as they continue on this next drive coming up.
I want to talk real quick about something coming up in 8 days here at Father Ryan's campus. Big thing, very important, the annual Relay for Life. It's a noon until 10 p.m. event. Salutes cancer survivors, raises funds for the American Cancer Society. Father Ryan has hosted the largest student-led Relay for Life in the nation in the last 7 years. We're looking to continue that throughout the community. That's very exciting, coming up in 8 days, Relay for Life. I imagine almost everybody listening to this broadcast has been touched one way or another in their life by cancer, that horrible disease. Sure hope one day we'll find a cure. 6:21 to go here in the third quarter. Ravenwood leads Father Ryan 17-13 after French hit on the 39-yard field goal. And now he lines up for this Raptors kickoff. And it's a deep one. Bounces off the back line of the end zone. And no doubting his leg strength, so Father Ryan will start 1st and 10 at his own 20-yard line. Although I'll say this for the Irish, the fact that they managed to keep Ravenwood to only a field goal there, as it is a 4-point game, and not, should Ravenwood have managed to punch it in for a touchdown, been looking at a more difficult deficit, particularly with the extra point. And I've got some clarification on the 2-point conversion that was called off. It's because of illegal touching is a loss of down. So that's why Father Ryan didn't get another crack at it. 1st and 10 for the Irish. So it's going to be Seamus O'Connell trying to run up the middle. And for as much as that's where Father Ryan should and probably will continue to concentrate on that one, the Raptors were up to the task. No gain for the Irish, 2nd and 10.
And with the 2nd and 10 coming up, the Irish are definitely going to need to get their ground game going back here, although Seamus O'Connell has been having a good game. The ground game has been working very well against the Ravenwood defense.
Less than 6 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Irish down by 4. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. It's a scrum at this point, maybe a couple of yards at most. It's Houston Crouch in there on the run for the Irish. And just like that, Crouch out and Bird back in as Father Ryan continues the rotation at running back.
Father Ryan definitely has a great rotation for running back. Definitely got some depth out there with Jackson Bird, Houston Crouch, and Antonio Wright occasionally.
18 seconds on the play clock for the Irish as they break the huddle. They have to get the ball exactly to the 30. It's easy to tell after a touchback. That giant line there for the 30-yard line. O'Connell looks to throw to the near side, White Rector, and it's dropped. Had the yardage for a first down, unable to bring it in. And so now on 4th and 6 or 4th and 7, call it what you will, the Irish are likely to punt here.
That's a tough miscatch for Wyatt Rector right there. He had it, just went right through his hands. Tough play for the Irish to take, but they will be up with a 4th and 7 coming up.
Jackson Bird, who, as has been noted, does just about everything for this Irish team.
Definitely one of their Swiss Army knives.
That's for sure. One player back for Ravenwood as they get an 11th player onto the field very late. They will bring pressure on punts from time to time, so the Irish have to be cognizant of that. And we'll bring some heat. Bird gets it away. It's a high spinner. Not the best of kicks. And they go out of bounds close to the 50-yard line. They'll say just inside on the Father Ryan side of the 50, so that's where Ravenwood will start its next possession of this second half. Leading Father Ryan 14-13, 5:02 to go third quarter.
Although Father Ryan didn't have quite the offensive stand that they were hoping that they would, hopefully the Irish can capitalize on this drive coming up.
Well, actually, we'll spot the ball with the nose right on the 50-yard line, so whatever adjustment had to be made there, they made it the slightest of them. And that's where Ravenwood will start this drive, 1st and 10. 5:02 to go third quarter. Ravenwood leading Father Ryan 17-13. Then a man in motion. Be a throw by Garcia to the far side, complete. Got to be careful over there on that sideline with the dangerous number 10, Anthony Holmes.
Absolutely. Anthony Holmes has definitely been a weapon for Ravenwood tonight. Been all over the field for him and gashing the Irish defense occasionally.
They list him at 5'5", 170. He certainly has the speed. He's going motion to the running back spot next to Garcia. They will hand it off. He's going to run up the middle, slicing through that Irish defense. Managed to find a hole. Anthony Holmes will move the chains for the Raptors.
Now with the Irish coming up here for the next play for their defense to stand, hopefully they can get more pressure on from the D-line to on the Ravenwood O-line.
3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far for Ravenwood on this 1st and 10. 15 seconds on the play clock. Approaching the 4:30 mark of the third quarter, and what has been a good game here between these two schools meeting for the first time ever in football, at least on the varsity level. Garcia is going to throw deep. And it's a reception for a touchdown, Ravenwood. Number 11, Miller Powell, the 6'1 senior, has given the Raptors a 2-possession lead.
Absolutely tough play for the Irish defense to take right there, but it was just a well-caught pass for Ravenwood, and they got the better of them on there for the touchdown.
So Miller Powell's reception, Garcia on the money with the throw. Powell might have managed to get a little bit of a push off, but he got away with it if so. Whatever the case, it's a touchdown for the Raptors, and now up by 10, they will go for the extra point. And French splits the uprights. 4:17 mark of the third quarter. Your score, Ravenwood 24, Father Ryan 13. We'll be right back on ATW Sportscast. 4:17 to go in the third quarter. Ravenwood, touchdown pass going up now by 11 on the Irish. Raptors up 24-13. Father Ryan ready to return the kickoff, although with the leg strength that Sam French has shown thus far, maybe all window dressing, manages to get this one through the end zone. It is a line drive. Lands about 7 yards deep in the end zone. Of course, by rule breaking, the plane of the goal line is an automatic touchback in high school football in the state of Tennessee, so that will be 1st and 10 Irish, the ball at their own 20-yard line. Interesting now to see how Father Ryan adjusts 11-point deficit. They've had success running the ball. They had that third down pass on the last possession that would have been a first had Rector been able to hold on to it, but he was open. So certainly the play calling was right. The execution just not able to make it happen there on that third down. Irish could use a long drive here. They're going to go 3 receivers, 2 to the near side on this 1st and 10. It's going to be a handoff. Jackson Bird cuts it back up toward the middle of the field, and he'll have about a 7 or 8 yard gain. It's tough to tell with him by the time he keeps moving forward. By the time he's finally down, they'll say he made it to the 28-yard line to Father Ryan.
Another good run by Jackson Bird. Definitely having some great, definitely having a great game out there tonight, and for sure getting the ground game just going very well for the Irish offense up here.
Gray Irwin and Nick Miller, the receivers to the far side. It's going to be O'Connell keeping himself on the near side, and I don't know that they got back to the line of scrimmage. To their credit, the Raptors defense right there, keying on O'Connell. Waiting to see where they officially spot the ball. Knows that it will be right at the 27-yard line on the near hash on this 3rd and 2 for the Irish. 3:25 to go third quarter. They trail by 11. And
now as the Irish continue, hopefully they do keep that ground and pass option available. But as we've seen, the ground game has been working very well, and so hopefully they will get another good play coming up.
Ravenwood teased the blitz and said it's going to be O'Connell on the keeper. And he may have it. He needed to get past the 30-yard line. Diving forward, in fact, he will. They'll spot it at the 31, and that's a fresh set of downs for the Irish. They needed that conversion. They got it.
Absolutely. Great run and great option there for Seamus O'Connell to keep it there and push it forward for the Irish first down.
Less than 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Father Ryan trails Ravenwood 24-13. They send Irwin out deep to the far side. O'Connell dries his hands on his towel. He throws it on the ground. It's going to hand it off Jackson Bird. It's going to be a reverse. Rewers can throw the ball. He will. He has an open player at the 45, tackle to the 40-yard line. Nice reception. William Riley. Father Ryan breaking out the trick play, and it works to perfection.
Absolutely great play there by the Irish to bring out the trickery and move the ball forward out to the Ravenwood 40-yard line.
Nice throw by Rewers. That's not the first time this season he's thrown a pass. That one on the money. It's a full receiver look, 2 to either side for the Irish. They're going to shift, bring one of the receivers in on that far side as an extra blocker on 1st and 10. Hand off Jackson Bird up the middle. He'll have maybe a 3 or 4 yard gain there for the Irish.
Jackson Bird again with another good carry up the middle. He's been producing very well for the Irish out here. Having a great game with great short runs in the middle and wearing down the Ravenwood defense.
Bird will hit the sideline. Houston crouch in for him. 2nd and 7, ball spotted at the Ravenwood 35-yard line. Irish trail by 11, 2 minutes to go third quarter. It's a passing situation. O'Connell, and it's complete. Gray Irwin. He'll be close, maybe a half yard shy of the first down. And that might set up a 3rd and short for Father Ryan. And we see Montrell McKnight coming into the game for the Irish. Irish, I guess, somebody out of that huddle, unless he was replacing somebody. Okay, they're good. Did not want to see them take an unnecessary penalty here. 3rd and short for the Irish. They need to get it to the 28-yard line. O'Connell's going to keep it himself. Has the first down to the 25, to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Irish. Seamus O'Connell. 3rd and short. The QB keeper has pulled Father Ryan within 1 possession.
The Father Ryan hurry-up offense right there, working to perfection with Seamus O'Connell getting right up there to the line, zooming past the Ravenwood defense, unexpecting, and gets a touchdown for Father Ryan. Great play there by the Irish.
So it appears Father Ryan will once again line up for the extra point. Zach Wipsnowski, who we were told would not be playing, or it was intimated to me he would not be. He was in earlier for an extra point try. And the second one is up. And it is good. So a minute 26 to go here in the third quarter. Father Ryan has cut the lead to 4 for Ravenwood, 24-20 Raptors. They'll be receiving the kickoff from the Irish here in just a minute. I want to tell you about something coming up this weekend here at Father Ryan on this campus this Sunday. Basketball Skills Clinic. This is for 5th to 8th grade parochial and non-parochial students. All invited. Cost $20 a session. Boys who are interested in their families can contact Coach Doug Bontrager here at Father Ryan. Girls can contact Coach Jason Larkin here for this Sunday. And I've got to give Coach Bontrager a lot of credit. The last math class I ever took was my senior year with him. I managed to test out at Evansville. I did very well in the ACT, not to brag, but it's a large part because of what he managed to teach me in the classroom. So a lot of credit to him. I'll always appreciate the education I received here at Father Ryan High School and what it has allowed me to do with my life. So here we go, a minute 26 to go third quarter. Father Ryan down by 4. They have the momentum now. The touchdown, the long drive, including a pair of third down conversions, the second of which ended up being a Seamus O'Connell QB keeper touchdown. Pulled him in forward. It's an onside kick attempt. Ball hits the turf, but quickly Ravenwood is there to jump on it.
Onside kick attempt not played well enough. Ravenwood able to sniff it out and immediately jump on the ball. Good thought by the Irish, but not well executed enough. Ravenwood does get the possession.
I believe that was number 29 for Ravenwood, Drake Anthony. It's tough to tell with that. Even on the monitor, for once I've got a monitor to look at here, which is a nice thing to have. So minute 24 to go, third quarter. Ravenwood, after the onside kick attempt fails, didn't even make it the requisite 10 yards. We'll have the ball at the Irish 49-yard line. Going shotgun on this 1st and 10. Bring the man in motion. They're going to run a reverse. Blocker set up to the near side to the 45, to the 40, has a first down to the 35. Tries to cut it back. Finally tackled at the 26-yard line. Nick Stallcup makes it happen with a reverse. And so Jackson Bird will be credited with the tackle on the near side. They'll say the 26-yard line is where Stallcup was stopped. A minute 12 to go third quarter. And quickly Ravenwood with a 4-point lead up to the line on this 1st and 10 in Irish territory.
And not only did our own reverse work well, even Ravenwood's worked well.
Throw by Garcia intended for Parker Nash, incomplete. Again, this has been noted. Garcia is absolutely fearless back there. Whether it's the folly of youth or just having confidence, he's got a strong arm.
Absolutely, it's been a showcase for him tonight for some of his plays that he's been able to make.
Already has one passing touchdown in this second half. So 2nd and 10. Again from the gun. Garcia, he may run with it. It'd be a little throw. Bobbles, caught. Parker Nash stays on his feet, has the first down, and will be stopped near the 15-yard line.
Interesting play there by Ravenwood. With that bobble there, you almost thought that he wouldn't be able to catch it.
They're going to say he was not past the marker to make. So 3rd and short now. Sometimes looking at it from this 45-degree angle from the far side a little bit misleading. Less than a minute to go third quarter on a big third down. And it's going to be a QB keeper into the end zone. Touchdown Ravenwood. Nick Stallcup on 3rd and short will extend the Ravenwood lead to 30-20.
And with that score in response to our own, this second half has been a little bit more of a shootout style. A little bit more scoring, at least considering from the first half.
And that first half was not lacking for action. It was just...
Oh, absolutely.
A lot of back and forth, but not as many points on the board. Not the case here in the second half. The Raptors go up by 10 on the Irish, and with an extra point, could put themselves up by 11. Snap is good. The hold is good. The kick by Garcia, or check that, the kick by French is good. So 32 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Father Ryan, for the second time in this third quarter, finds itself down by 11 points. Now, the last time they were able to answer a Ravenwood touchdown with one of their own. But now as we near the beginning of the fourth quarter, the longer this continues at this particular rate, the more it's going to shift in the advantage of the Raptors. Irish certainly could use some points on this next drive.
Absolutely. Irish have been able to respond pretty well against the Ravenwood attack, but like you said, yes, Ravenwood can control it very well once they start scoring.
And I like the idea of Father Ryan trying that onside kick. I know they've tried it several times.
Oh,
and
sure.
Wisnowski and their normal kickoff specialist, so using it for extra points, so at least gutting it out for this one. But you want to try and test the leg of your freshman kicker with a groin/hamstring injury. The Raptors will have the ball near this near side hash at the 40-yard line. Sam French been able to have multiple touchbacks thus far. This very powerful leg for the Raptors. This one's a high spinner. May fall a little bit short. Be fielded. And they're going to say go with it. From the 5 to the 10 to the 13. That was a very difficult situation right there for Father Ryan. David Ward had it. Thought perhaps the ball had crossed the plane, the goal line. The referee said no dice. And as a result, tries to run it back out, but gets it no further than the 14-yard line. That's the worst starting field position of this game for the Irish.
Definitely a little bit of a tough play there for David Ward to make. For sure, being back in the end zone, you never know if it would have been passed there or not. So credit to him being able to get it out as far as he could.
It's 3 receivers for Father Ryan, 2 to the far side on this 1st and 10. 27 seconds to go. Handoff Houston Crouch. Plows forward for maybe 2 or 3 yards. That may be the last play for Father Ryan unless they hustle to get back to the line. 15 seconds to go here in this 3rd quarter. Looking at 2nd and 7, ball at the Irish 17-yard line with 5 seconds on the clock. Be another handoff. And again, not much there for Father Ryan. Houston Crouch on the carry. And now Father Ryan will have a chance to talk it over before a pretty critical 3rd down coming up. So after 3 quarters, your score, Ravenwood 31, Father Ryan 20. We'll be right back here on ATW Sportscast. And so we start the 4th quarter here at Giacosa Stadium. Lou Pickney and Austin Wright with you on this call. Father Ryan down by 11 here in the 4th quarter, facing a 3rd and 4. Connell from the shotgun looks his receiver down, complete. And that's enough for an Irish 1st down, provided they give forward progress, which they do to the 26-yard line. Nice job by William Riley to haul that one in on 3rd down.
Absolutely. Well done by William Riley to get the chains moving.
So 1st and 10, Irish at their own 26, down by 11, 4th quarter. It's a 4-receiver look. O'Connell's going to keep it himself, running up the middle, and he'll get to, looks like the 28-yard line. So maybe a 2-yard gain on that one for the Irish.
Absolutely. The Irish being able to move it against the Ravenwood defense and been having good gains against them with these short passes and the short runs. So
2nd and 7 for the Irish. 11:20 to go, 4th quarter. Father Ryan trails by 11. O'Connell throws a slant pass that will fall incomplete. With a low pass. One intended for Dave, or check that for Gray Irwin. So 3rd and 7 for the Irish. Ball at their own 28-yard line, down by 11 in the 4th quarter. They could use a big play right about now.
Absolutely, and with the name you just called earlier with Gray Irwin, he would definitely be a great option to pass to as well. He's been having a great year. But as well, the running game has been working very well, so we will see what the Irish have cooked up for this play.
Irish need to get the ball to their own 36-yard line to get a first down. After the long count, they're going to roll O'Connell out to the far side. Looks like he wanted to throw back. He's going to have to run with it. Past the 30, past the down close to the 40, has the first down. Finally brought down at the Irish 43-yard line. Seamus O'Connell picking the team up on his back, metaphorically speaking on that one. Got a couple of blocks, made some nice cuts, and that moves the chains for the Irish.
Seamus O'Connell's fancy dancing around in the pocket. He was able to make it through and get it for a great first down for the Irish. He's been able to do that all season long, and it's worked thus far in the night too.
On 1st and 10, it's going to be a handoff. Only a couple of yards at most right there for Jackson Bird. And it appears that the Raptors are trying to key on the running game between the tackles and limit Father Ryan's options in that respect. They'll say back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it for Bird. 2nd and 10 Irish, approaching the 10-minute mark of the fourth quarter.
Absolutely. Now with the good second down coming up for the Irish, looks as though they will be setting up for a pass attempt.
4 receivers. There's the running back. Provide blocking protection for O'Connell. Is going to be flush. It's a awkward-looking screen pass. Like the idea of the play.
Definitely a good option there for Seamus O'Connell to ditch it out to his running back, but it didn't quite work.
O'Connell trying to make things happen there. I saw what they were lining up as far as the pitch play, but credit to that Raptors defense of Ravenwood right there to force him to make it at an awkward angle. Landed hard to the ground, got it just fine, but nevertheless, Father Ryan at the 10:09 mark of the fourth quarter, down by 11, looking at 3rd and 10 from their own 42. Strips receivers to the near side. O'Connell looks, throws, complete. That's a first down for the Irish. Past the 35, down to the 33-yard line. William Riley. Another big reception for Riley here in this second half, and the Irish are on the move.
Absolutely. William Riley with another great catch in there from Seamus O'Connell. Well played by him, getting it down to the Ravenwood 32. Great play there by the Irish.
Added bonus for Father Ryan's defense, getting a few minutes to catch its breath.
Oh, no doubt.
On this drive. 1st and 10 for the Irish. O'Connell's going to keep it himself. QB keeper to the far side escapes a jersey tackle. He'll be stopped up for perhaps a 7-yard gain. I'll say this for Ravenwood. They have been much better tackling tonight than I saw in some of their video doing prep work for this game. It wasn't Stratford bad, but they had some issues with it, so they seem to have, at least in this situation, improved it. So a 6-yard carry there for the Irish sets up 2nd and 4. 9:26 and counting, fourth quarter. Father Ryan's down by 11. They need a score.
And absolutely to build off that, although Ravenwood has been having good tackling, Seamus O'Connell has been able to slip through defenders so easily and have a great game himself running the ball.
Speaking of slipping through, it's Jackson Bird slipping through on the far side, getting outside the tackle box and getting a first down for the Irish.
Another great run by Jackson Bird, definitely having a good night for sure, definitely. You know, the Father Ryan runners out here have been definitely, I mean, as you said, they have been, the Ravenwood defense has been able to tackle well, but Father Ryan has also been able to slip through, so it's been a back and forth for sure.
From inside the red zone, it's a carry for Jackson Bird on this 1st and 10 from the 18, pushing forward for a couple of yards. The clock continues to roll. 8:46 fourth quarter. Ravenwood leads Father Ryan 31-20.
And although Father Ryan is down by 11 points, we do have 8 minutes remaining, and that is a good amount of time, and Father Ryan is in good position to score, but a sense of urgency definitely is necessary as the game continues.
Keep in mind the Irish, all 3 of their timeouts remaining in the second half. So on 2nd and 9, it's going to be a throw to the near side, incomplete. Quinn Warren didn't really have an opportunity to make a catch on that one. You could tell Seamus O'Connell from the quarterback spot trying to get it there, but unable to do so. So Father Ryan looking at 3rd and 9 from the 17-yard line of the Raptors. And in another situation, you might see the Irish, if they were to say not get any yards on this play, go for a field goal, make it a one-possession game. But between Zach Wesnowski's leg injury and the normal inclinations of this team, I would seem to doubt it. So 3rd and 9. O'Connell, they set up the screen pass. Jackson Bird on that far sideline. It's going to be close. I think he has the first down. It will depend on the spot. Whatever the case, it was the right time to call the screen. Sometimes teams rely on that a little bit too much and bad things happen.
And it looks as though Father Ryan did get the first down. Great play by Jackson Bird to extend it past the yard marker.
Ball will be spotted on the far hash. First and goal Irish from the Raptors' 8-yard line. 8:09 to go, fourth quarter. Father Ryan tries for the third time in this second half to make it a one-possession game. It's a handoff up the middle. Pushing forward. Jackson Bird's forward progress stopped at the 4, maybe the 3-yard line. I don't know where he gets that extra energy in the late part of the game, but he keeps those legs churning on every play, has that motor.
Absolutely, got a strong motor on him, for sure.
After playing, by and large, most of the defensive snaps at inside linebacker. Second and goal from the 4, and we have a whistle. A timeout by Ravenwood. Now, this is interesting to me.
Yes.
Because Ravenwood now only one timeout remaining, and I'm acutely aware that Ravenwood leads by 11. But with 7:38 to go, that could
and Father Ryan knocking on the door.
If for the Raptors, from their point of view, certainly it would make sense to do what you can defensively to adjust when you're having trouble stopping your opponent in the red zone, in your own red zone.
Absolutely, but definitely interesting to see they burn another timeout. Although they are up 11, you never know when you might need another timeout.
That's true. But in this case, with an 11-point lead, opting to make an adjustment or two on defense, or at the very least talk things over. Quick opportunity to go over some scores. Blessed Trinity out of Georgia, last word 31-6. They lead McCallie. Baylor has gone final 42-8. Baylor beats Chattanooga Christian. Chattanooga Christian was 4-1 going into that game. Baylor at one point this season 1-3. They now moved to 3-3 on the year. Brentwood Academy up 34-7 at last word on Knox Catholic. NBA up 35-7 at JP2, and Memphis Trezevant down at the last word of the half, 35-0 to Ensworth. So here we go, Father Ryan, second and goal from the 4. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. Jackson Bird, did he get there? Touchdown, Irish. So a heaping helping of the running game from the Irish, including Jackson Bird. And now Father Ryan has once again made it a one-possession game. And they may go for 2 here, and I like the decision if they do.
Absolutely, definitely necessary here, as they weren't able to make their previous 2-point conversion earlier in the game from their very first score.
So the Irish up by 5, if they are to convert, could potentially tie things up with a field goal later.
And it seems as though there was some movement by Ravenwood.
There was
if
movement.
The call.
It'll depend on if they were drawn off by the Irish. They had a player in motion. So it is against the Raptors, so half the distance to the goal line. Instead of one shot from the 3, you get it from the 1.5-yard line for the Irish, so even closer for this 2-point conversion try. Ravenwood up 31-26, 7:33 to go, fourth quarter. Father Ryan still has all 3 of its timeouts. 9 seconds on the play clock, so they're going to need to get to the line quickly here. 5 seconds. They're going to send a man in motion. Be a handoff. Jackson Bird. And he gets in for the 2-point conversion. And that pulls the Irish within 3. So Ravenwood leads Father Ryan 31-28. 7:33 to go, fourth quarter. The first game ever, varsity football between these two schools. That has lived up to expectations. Although I got to say,
absolutely, but still, it's Father Ryan exceeding expectations almost. In a way.
It was hard to know. Looking at Ravenwood, I saw, okay, what I was able to analyze. And certainly I'm not a coach, so please don't misunderstand that, but enough just to be able to articulate things about the game. But it was, to me, the curiosity was going to be, could Father Ryan run the ball consistently and stick with it, and they have.
Yep.
And the other challenge is containing the passing attack while also staying true to the risk of the dreaded QB keeper between Nick Stallcup and Brian Garcia. 2 players taking turns at quarterback for the Raptors.
Which over the course of the game has happened for the most part, except for there have been a few big plays, but the Irish have been playing a great game overall.
And again for the Irish, Sam Mercado, the junior, filling in for Zach Wisnowski. It's going to be a pooch play to the near side, be fielded at the 38-yard line, running back the wrong way to the 35, but he's got a seam. And then finally be corralled at the 45-yard line. So a lot of running right there by Connor Patton. My notes, good hands, reliable target, good hands to field that pooched kickoff, brought it all the way to the near side. So
Ravenwood with prime position again, close to the field 50-yard marker.
And you think about Father Ryan starting its last two drives, first at its own 20, and then the last drive within its own 20 after that, that play where the ball just barely apparently failed to cross the plane to the goal line. So better starting field position, a challenge out for this Irish defense, but the Irish have had a chance to catch their breath some. At least those players not going both ways. 1st and 10 now, Ravenwood at their own 45-yard line. They lead Father Ryan by 3. This is going to be a handoff. Father Ryan's defense up to the task. It was a belly-to-back suplex to bring down Anthony Holmes. Holmes is very dangerous in the open field, running between the tackles.
No doubt.
But running between the tackles, I would suggest, is not his strong suit. Irish able to hold there for no gain, 2nd and 10 as we approach the 7-minute mark of this fourth quarter. Ravenwood up 31-28.
Absolutely, and from what we've seen, although he lacks size, what he makes up for is definitely in speed.
It's complete to the far side, evades one tackler. Finally, he's going to be brought down right about the 50-yard line. Completion to Nick Stalkup. Stalkup has had several big plays for this Ravenwood team tonight. It's not enough for a first down, though. Not even close. 3rd and 5. Ball right, the nose of the ball right at the 50-yard line. Ravenwood has to reach the Father Ryan 45. 3rd and 5, less than 6:30 to go in this game. Big play for both teams right here. Not surprisingly, it's a big 4-receiver look to this near side, one to the far. Garcia pumps it, throws deep, has a man. It falls incomplete. A good job defensively for Father Ryan to prevent Jared MacArthur being able to bring it in. Big play there for Father Ryan.
Absolutely.
Ray Irwin. Several players asked to play on both sides of the ball. Something Coach Rector noted, this Father Ryan team is thin. A lot of young talent, but trying to make the most of your talent on both sides of the ball is something that Ravenwood doesn't have to do by and large.
But Father Ryan does make up for it, and they do a good job of it, for sure.
It's a bad snap.
Oh, man.
They didn't bring any pressure to the Irish. It's a high punt to the far side. Fair catch called for and made by Quinn Warren at the Irish 16-yard line. Nearly disaster there for the Raptors. Father Ryan playing safe all the way. Understandably so. You don't want to jump offside or run into a kicker in a situation like that. So the Irish now, again, not the best starting field position. They've managed to make 2 touchdowns of the last 2 times they've had it in this spot. So 6:02 to go, fourth quarter. Ravenwood 31, Father Ryan 28. Irish trying to break 2-game losing streak.
Yes, absolutely. 2 heartbreaking losses against 2 of the biggest rivals for Father Ryan, no doubt. But with this drive coming up, Lou, I'm wondering what they might do here with the 6 minutes left, but they are down by 3.
Father Ryan, all 3 of its timeouts, 1st and 10. It's going to be Jackson Bird, although he's going to get blown up in the backfield. Lost a couple of yards right there. Bryce Baines got in there. Baines listed just as a defensive lineman on my sheet here. One of several players. It's interesting to see how Ravenwood will rotate guys in on their defensive line. They do get some fresh bodies in there. A 3-yard loss for the Irish. 2nd and 13. Rolling to the near side. O'Connell throws against his body. Has a receiver. Is it intercepted? Incomplete. The official on this near sideline calls incomplete.
A big sigh of relief for the Father Ryan Irish.
It looked to me as if William Riley might have been the intended receiver downfield, or maybe looking at the wrong number. There was somebody down there for Father Ryan, and I'm not sure what happened there because he was open, but went from that to a near interception, but ruled incomplete.
So no doubt. Tough to tell who the intended receiver was for sure. Yeah, like you said.
5:24 to go, fourth quarter. Ravenwood up by 3. 3rd and 13 for the Irish. We have a flag. This may give Father Ryan 5 free yards. And indeed, encroachment is the call against the Raptors. So, although officially say offside, 3rd and 13 turns into 3rd and 8 from the Irish 19-yard line.
Definitely a good situation here by the Irish being able to move it up closer. But now they got an interesting call coming up here, Lou.
They need to reach their own 26-yard line to the Irish on this 3rd and 8. Connell out of the shotgun. Says one running back there for blocking protection. Buys time in the pocket. Brewer's trying to get his attention downfield. Instead, O'Connell's going to run with it. It's going to be close. Will depend on the spot.
It looks very close.
If he didn't get it, he just missed it by inches.
Absolutely.
So a rather critical play here at the 5:05 mark of the 4th quarter. They will measure. It looks as if he's maybe a foot short, if that. But, of course, that's looking at it from an angle up here in the press box. And that's why they have the chains to go out there and tell you exactly how far.
No doubt. And they will take a measurement here.
Well, that way everybody knows for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
The way the ball is spotted. It'll be 4th and less than a yard for the Irish. It'll be interesting to see what happens if they don't get the measurement here, and I don't think they will. You're down by 3. You'll need a short amount of distance to get the first down. Of course, being up by 3 against JP2 2 weeks ago, went for that 4th down punt, but big difference when you have the lead versus trailing.
And it will be mere inches.
Wow. About as close as you could hope for without getting it. So Father Ryan looking at 4th and very short, deep in his own territory. 5:05 to go, 4th quarter.
Definitely a pivotal call coming up here for Father Ryan.
They'll reset the ball, and that's wow, just inches away. You're right, Austin. That's, my goodness, very close. Keep in mind, though, for the Irish, that they go for it here. Sometimes on these 3rd and short, 4th and short, if you can break through, those safeties are playing up, and those corners playing up, you can break one deep.
Absolutely.
But you have to get past them. That's, of
exactly
course, the challenge there.
That's right. If you can find the hole, you can run for as long as you want, basically.
It's 3 receivers, 2 to the near side. Jackson Bird, the running back, next to O'Connell, going with a hard count. They're going for it, 4th down. Bird pushes forward and has the first down for the Irish.
Great push there by the offensive line for Father Ryan, making Jackson Bird able to push it through. Great work there by Father Ryan.
That moves the chains. Ball will be spotted officially, they'll say, at the Father Ryan 29-yard line. Less than 5 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Father Ryan trails by 3. They have the ball. And it has been a very exciting game here between the Irish and the Raptors.
Absolutely. A back-and-forth game. Basically, the whole game that we've been seeing. It's been a great game for both sides, no doubt.
3 receivers to the far side. It's going to be thrown back. Bird can throw it forward. He is going to throw it. Has a receiver open. And it's incomplete. Gray Irwin was wide open.
Gray Irwin almost had an amazing catch to make there. Just slipped through his hands.
Father Ryan breaks up the trick play. The second time in this game, a non-traditional quarterback throw. Worked before when they had Brewers do it on that one.
And Jackson Bird was on the money for him right there.
Now Father Ryan will have to try something else on this 2nd and 10. 12 seconds on the play clock. They're going to have to hurry. You don't want to use one of your 3 timeouts if you're Father Ryan. 4:26 to go here in this 4th quarter with 5 seconds on the play clock. Be a handoff up the middle. Just a couple of yards at most right there for Jackson Bird on the carry.
Definitely. For the Father Ryan Irish offense, they had to make something happen there. They definitely did not want to burn one of their precious timeouts that they will need as the game continues.
The clock continues to tick away, approaching 4 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Father Ryan looking at 3rd and 8, ball at its own 31-yard line. Ravenwood leads the Irish 31-28. Father Ryan going to go 4 receivers on this 3rd and long, 2 to either side. Making the handoff, O'Connell will throw over the middle to Brewers. In and out of his hands, incomplete. And now Father Ryan faces 4th and 8 from its own 31-yard line. 3:44 to go in the game. You could punt it here. You know, if you're Father Ryan, you've got all 3 timeouts. You go for it here and you don't get it.
Definitely sets up a tough situation for the defense, if so. I mean, if, like you said, if they turn over.
It's tough because in a game where both teams have been having success scoring, this could be a surprise and then the proverbial pooch punt. So Father Ryan decides to use a timeout, 4th and 8, going to talk things over and make sure they have everybody on the same page. The downside to that, of course, is that you go from 3 timeouts left to only 2. 3-point deficit, 3:44 to go here in the 4th quarter, and the ball at your own 31-yard line.
Absolutely. And as Father Ryan continues here, this is going to be one of the most pivotal calls that they are going to have to make for this whole game. They got a critical 4th and 8 coming up here. It'll be interesting to see what Coach Rector comes out with.
They're talking things over on the sideline. Next week for Father Ryan, it's going to be a trip to the west side of Nashville to visit Innsworth. And then 2 weeks from tonight, it'll be Brentwood High coming here. Then Ravenwood and Brentwood High played last Friday night.
And what a great game that was as well.
Ravenwood coming up out on top. Able to end the perfect season that Brentwood High had going on. So here we go, 4th and 8 for the Irish. Ball at their own 31-yard line. 3:44 to go 4th quarter. O'Connell, good protection, throws, and it's dropped. Would have been a tough one to bring in, bit of a high throw. Rewers was right there, but it falls incomplete, and it's a turnover on downs. Ravenwood gets the ball at the Irish 31-yard line.
Tough play there by Father Ryan, and a 3rd straight missed catch there by the Irish receivers.
Credit to the offense for drawing up plays to get their players open.
Absolutely.
But the receivers having a difficult time bringing it in. 3:39 to go 4th quarter. Now a call goes to Father Ryan's defense to play stout right here.
No doubt. Father Ryan's defense going to have to step up big here against the potent Ravenwood offense that they've been having this whole night.
Ravenwood going with Nick Stallcup in the quarterback spot. It's a handoff to Holmes. He'll get a couple of yards. The very speedy one, Anthony Holmes, running up the middle for about a 3-yard gain.
Anthony Holmes not getting quite as much, but he still has been an effective runner and receiver here for Ravenwood tonight.
Say a 2-yard gain. 3:20 to go 4th quarter. Ravenwood leads by 3, 31 to 28. 2nd and 8 for Ravenwood with the ball at the Father Ryan 29-yard line. With 7 seconds on the play clock, they're going to have to hustle. Get the man in motion, get the play off in time. It's a throw, and it's complete. Had to wait for a second to get the official ruling, and that will be enough to get a 1st down for Ravenwood. Andrew Mason on the reception, number 16, the 5'9" sophomore, with a clutch catch that moves the chains for the Raptors.
Definitely a big catch there by Ravenwood to move the chains. And the Irish defense is being pushed back further and further. They're going to have to make another big stand here.
You can give up a field goal and still make it a one-possession game. A touchdown, much more difficult. So on 1st and 10, it's Holmes toward the outside. He's going to be drugged to the ground. Good stop by Father Ryan right there. Ben Smith with the stop. And we get a whistle as Father Ryan, I believe, has taken its 2nd time out at the 2:25 mark of the 4th quarter.
Interesting call by Father Ryan to call the timeout, 2nd down and 11 left.
Well, actually, it's going to be more than 2nd and 11, looking at how they finally spotted it. It said on the scoreboard had some differing information, but I think the ball's, well, it's tough to tell exactly. They're going to spot it at the 21-yard line of the Irish. Ravenwood has to get the ball at least to the 8-yard line of Father Ryan to get a 1st down. Father Ryan defensively now, certainly the challenge when you've got a quarterback in there, and you notice with Ravenwood they've gone with Stallcup, and at the quarterback spot, Garcia certainly a quarterback who can throw deep, throw it strong. Sometimes a bit reckless in his play, at least in my estimation, but yeah, you go with the gunslinger when you need it, and when you need the runner, you got him in here on 2nd and 12. And so it is Nick Stallcup in the shotgun. A flag comes out. 8 seconds on the play clock. So it's not that. Instead, it is a false start. So Ravenwood going backwards. 2nd and 12 becomes 2nd and 17.
Great opportunity here for the Irish to capitalize on that, for sure.
That moves the ball to the Irish 26-yard line. 2nd and 17 for the Raptors. They lead by 3. 2:25 to go fourth quarter. They got 3 receivers to the far side. And a great tackle there for Father Ryan. Austin Crow got a hold of Nick Stallcup. And let me tell you, Stallcup is not easy to bring down.
Absolutely.
But the Irish up to the task there. Actually, another play for a loss. So now 3rd and 18 for Ravenwood.
A prime situation for the Irish. They've been making good stops. Just have to make one more to keep Ravenwood away from the first down.
Father Ryan, 1 timeout left. They're going to hold on to it on this 3rd and 18. 10 seconds on the play clock. And now Garcia is back in at quarterback. Ravenwood may throw it here, maybe a run with Garcia if he gets a block. He is going to be brought down. A couple of yards on the gain, but more importantly, the stop on 3rd and long.
And there will be one more timeout by Father Ryan here.
There are a few players in that vicinity. I can tell for sure who made the tackle for Father Ryan. Austin Crow nearby, Tyler Crouch in that area. Of course, Jackson Bird. I can only imagine how tired he's going to be when this one's finished.
Absolutely. He's been all over the field tonight, for sure.
Something to be said for running on adrenaline, especially in a tight game like this one. So here we go. Father Ryan now with this. Yes, they used their 3rd and final timeout. The 1:37 to go. One would figure Ravenwood will attempt a field goal here. They're up by 3. You hit a field goal, you're up by 6. That forces Father Ryan to get a touchdown.
And French is out there.
Yes, and that was one of the keys to the game for Ravenwood, was utilizing its kicking game. Sam French, probably one of the best kickers we've seen this season.
Oh, absolutely. He's been great tonight for Ravenwood. So it looks as though they will go for the kick.
He can hit from distance. This would be about a 43-yarder. Or even, well, yeah, it would be a 43-yarder from the far hash. And remember, high schools have these further hashes. Irish faithful making noise. Hear it all the way up here. Kick is away.
And it is
no
good.
No. Wide left. So Father Ryan defensively holds stout. And not only holds stout, but forces the Raptors back far enough that the long field goal attempt wide left. 1:29 to go here in the fourth quarter. So Father Ryan will have the ball 1st and 10 from its own 20.
Wow, the Irish could not. Excuse me.
Say no timeouts left. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, wow. The Irish could not expect anything more than that. That was a great stand by the defense, and with the missed field goal, that just puts the cherry on top, and the Irish offense now has 1:29 to capitalize on that.
So 4 receiver look for the Irish out of the shotgun on 1st and 10. Throw to the near side. Falls incomplete. Intended for William Riley, a low throw. Although that's one of those incompletions that might actually be a blessing in disguise because it stops the clock with 1:25 to go. Father Ryan out of timeouts.
That's right.
I mean, I really do think that would have been bad for Father Ryan if Riley could have made that catch and nothing more. But instead, they save about 15 seconds here. So 2nd and 10 from their own 20. O'Connell, flush from the pocket. He's going to run with it past the 25 to the 26. Clock continues to run. Irish out of timeouts. 1:15 and
have to pick it up and keep even further up tempo.
Father Ryan needs to get it past the 30-yard line to get a fresh set of downs. It's 4 receivers again. Throw to the near side, and it's complete. Irish get a first down. They're going to have to move quickly. A nice reception, William Riley. Bit of a rainbow throw, but it got there on the money. He made the catch, and the Irish, exactly 1 minute to go. They'll wind the clock right now as they set for play on this 1st and 10. O'Connell throws to the near side, complete and getting out of bounds. Nice reception for the Irish. Quinn Warren, good job. They'll say it's at the 39-yard line. Apparently, Irish fans wanting a penalty thrown on for that, but no dice there. Whatever the case, though, Warren managed to get out of bounds. And it's important, stopping the clock, 52 seconds. 2nd and 3 for the Irish from their own 39. They're going to send Quinn Warren in motion. Fake the handoff on the jet sweep. Throw over the middle, complete. Gray Irwin has the catch into Raptors territory down to the 42-yard line. Player is down for Ravenwood. They stopped the clock temporarily, 44 seconds to move the chains, but they're looking at a medical timeout in all likelihood here, unless player for Ravenwood can get off the field.
It looks as though number 19 for Ravenwood, Brandon Huff, is struggling to get off the field.
Well, they slow things up here to spot the ball. The clock will start on the referee signal. 1st and 10, Father Ryan at the Ravenwood 42-yard line. 38 seconds and counting. 4 receivers out of the gun. Throw, it's complete. That near side of the ball. The ball was fumbled, and Ravenwood came up with it. It's complete to William Riley. It was outside of my vantage point here because it was near that
As
sideline.
with me as well, the Father Ryan
They're saying Father Ryan keeps the ball.
Oh, wow.
Wow. So
It was hard to tell. We had the Father Ryan substitutes down there. We weren't able to see it down there.
25 seconds to go. New life for the Irish. They throw back on the screen. Past the 30 to the 25 and out of bounds. Jackson Bird. So Father Ryan, which has had bad luck the last couple of weeks against a Ravenwood team that's had a lot of good luck in close games. Irish trying to flip the script. Father
Irish
Ryan
definitely having a great chance here with 17 seconds left on the 23-yard line.
And again, without Zach Wesnowski, unless they can get it close enough where they think he can hit it, even with the injury to his groin. Irish would love a touchdown to get the win, though, on this 1st and 10. O'Connell dancing in the pocket, trying to buy time. 10 seconds on the clock, going to throw deep, has a player open.
Oh!
And it's dropped.
What a tough miss there by
It's Quinn Warren, the
number
intended receiver.
13, Quinn Warren.
You know, you draw it up as an offensive coordinator, you set it up, the throw's there, and it falls incomplete. 6 seconds for the Irish.
An absolute heartbreaker of a miscatch there, but the Irish do have 6 seconds and 1 play left to work with here, or possibly 2.
They may go for a field goal. Look at this. They're bringing in the big guys. Wesnowski.
Wesnowski from, it looks as if it'll be 40-yarder.
Only 7 seconds in the play clock. You got to watch the potential fake, like what happened against JP2 last year.
That's right. 2,
For
1.
the tie, it's a fake. They're going to give it to Jackson Bird. Bird running with it to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. Into the end zone!
Into the end zone, Jackson Bird! Oh my gosh!
000 touchdown on the last play of the game.
What an unbelievable ending for the Father Ryan Irish with a last-second touchdown by number 22, Jackson Bird. This is unbelievable. The fans are going insane.
Wow. After all of that, after all the dropped passes, all the struggle, the Irish on the last play of the game. And he won't kick an extra point here because there's more than a 2-point differential. It doesn't matter. Father Ryan wins 34-31. And fittingly, Jackson Bird,
Of all players, the player of the game, no doubt. He's had such a great night. What a way to cap it off.
It's incredible. And think, last year, it was the exact same situation, down by 3. In that case against JP2. It was the fake, and Bird had it. In that case, he threw the ball, and it was a pass that ended up falling incomplete. In this case, he ran with it. He knew he had to get in the end zone. And on 000s, after what looked like a fumble, a few plays before that near sideline.
It was so well played.
With William Riley with a catch
Yes.
that ended up being where he's ruled down. So Father Ryan gets the win.
What a win by Father Ryan after 2 straight weeks of absolute heartbreak. The Irish went on an absolute stunner.
So Father Ryan, we talked about them staying true to the rushing game. They did to the very end, the trick play. It seemed highly improbable that Zach Wesnowski, the freshman kicker with a pulled groin, who never kicks from that far away anyway, was going to go for it. But hey, you never know in this kind of situation, right?
That's
so I
right.
thought maybe they would, but as soon as I saw the snap, you're thinking, okay, that's not going to happen. But now what are you going to do? Because clearly you have to think Ravenwood knew that this was a possibility.
Oh yes, no doubt.
So wow. So Coach Rector with a win over a team that he once took to a state championship 12 years ago. Father Ryan on the last play of the game.
Coach Rector with the bold move to end the game. Wow.
Well, a field goal would have only forced overtime.
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, Father Ryan going for the win and getting the win. Wow. What a game. What a comeback. They were down by 11 points in the fourth quarter. This team doesn't quit. They don't give up. And they end up getting the victory on the last play of the game. Jackson Bird with one he'll remember for the rest of his life.
Oh, no doubt. What a way to end the game and have a big homecoming game.
Yes, for all the people that have come and all the alumni who have made the effort to be here for homecoming tonight. The Pride in the Pit barbecue.
Absolutely, no doubt.
This excitement we had here. And I was very curious about this game. How are these teams going to match up? Well, we saw how they matched up. Absolutely thrilling,
great.
Back and forth.
Yes.
So for Ravenwood, they fall to 4-2 on the season, and their 4-game winning streak ends. The Irish, and they're still celebrating down here with the students.
Oh, rightfully so. What a great win.
So Father Ryan now moves to 3-3 on the season. Irish flag being hoisted. Evan Ruers has that. Some of the players there, they gather at midfield. On the other side, Ravenwood dejected. And the Irish certainly know what happened, especially 2 weeks ago. That's something they can empathize with. But in this case, it's an Irish victory, and about as exciting as a fashion as you can ever see. My goodness. Okay, so anything else, first of all, Austin, before we start doing the closing?
Got to catch our breath. Man, what a great game. But no, absolutely. This was just a fantastic game overall. What an ending to the game. This was just an absolute awesome homecoming finisher. This is just amazing by the Irish. No doubt.
1 week from tonight, we'll be with you live from Ensworth as it's a return to Division II AAA play for Father Ryan. But in its first ever meeting against Ravenwood, the Irish with a victory on the final play of the game, the fake field goal, touchdown run, Jackson Bird, and that's your final. So for Austin Wright, everybody with Behind the Crest, ATW Sportscast crew, I'm Lou Pickney saying so long. From Giacosa Stadium, your final score, Father Ryan 34, Ravenwood 31. We'll talk to you 1 week from tonight at Ensworth. Good night, everybody.